second.
Ben in the Mercedes AMG wins this race.
What race?
Greetings, petrolheads, and welcome to RomRom.net. Today, as you may know, we are going to be streaming the Global Enduro Silverstone Winter Special. I'm not alone, of course. With me is Cody. Hi, Cody.
Hello, everybody. I am very, very excited. It's going to be a great day of racing.
So at the moment, we are waiting for the server to be set up. And I'm already being pinged something by race control. Yeah, we're waiting for the server to come alive, and we'll start soon-ish. Second. All right. So, Cody,
Yes.
can you explain the people in the stream what the rules of this race are gonna be?
No.
Okay, then I'll do it. No worries. So, the race is gonna be 140 real-time minutes. But the time within Assetto Corsa Competizione is gonna be accelerated to 24 hours. Therefore, we're gonna see a whole day, a whole enduro racing. Of course, with the interesting part of night racing, we're gonna talk about it. The teams are comprised of 2 or 3 drivers, and every 40 minutes at least, the drivers... Go ahead.
Real quick, I can take you through the teams once you're done with that.
Sure. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. The max stint for every driver is going to be 40 minutes. And as you know, the race 140 minutes. So we're going to see at least 2 or 3 driver swaps. It's going to be interesting. It's not the first time that Global Enduro does such a race. We had the Christmas special, which you can find in the stream videos within our channel. And that would be about it, all in all. There's a couple of special rules, but we'll come to them if they have to be activated. Cody, take it away and explain the people a little bit about the teams.
Absolutely. So, as Serta said, we have teams of 2 to 3 drivers. And first off, we have in car number 12, the Thompson twins. Driving for the Mercedes AMG GT3, we have Stuart Thompson and Cameron Thompson. In the 7 Lexus RCF GT3, we have Team Falcon UK with Matthew Dowdy and Callum Baker. In car number 6, the BMW M6 GT3 of Keith Racing with Tom Prangley and Alex Ald. In car number 5, the McLaren 720S GT3 of Challenge Racing, Ben Page and Brett Beard. We have Jolly Holly Racing in car number 10 with the Bentley Continental GT3, starring John Smith and Brian Cham Cham, and our first 3-driver team of this list, James Ronan, rounding out those 3. In car number 4, the Aston Martin Racing, T-Total Motorsport, with Matt Atkins and Jack Taylor. In the other Aston Martin, we have Bexley Racing Team, car number 3, Scott Mortimer and pardon me, Scott Mortimer and Chris Lucas Stewart. In car number 2 with Speed 12 Racing, McLaren 720S GT3, we have Rossaman and Timbo. In car number 8, Team Puddle Smashers with the McLaren 720S GT3, starring Kevin Bouter and Nick Nipples.
With a K.
With a K, yes, I do want to say that Knippels, not what you guys were thinking, you dirty audience. We have the Dresden Reapers in the McLaren 720S GT3 with a big number 9 on the side. Michael Bouter and Marco Wouters. Car number 1, Global Enduro, as close to a works team as we get here with Ed Bailey and Quentin Chavito. And then rounding out your grid, we have car number 11, Tom & Co. Racing, McLaren 720S GT3 with Tom Hands, Anna Bowl, and David Marshall. It's going to be some very, very interesting matchups here. We've got some drivers, the drivers in the sign up, they mark themselves as their pace that they believe themselves to be at. We've got a lot of people who mark themselves as midfield. Challenge Racing both marks themselves as fast, so we'll have to see how just how accurate that is. But I've got good hopes for them. We've got some the Dresden Reapers have Michael Bouter, who's marked as fast, and Marco Wouters, who is marked as slower but steady. So that will be interesting to see how, in the driver changes, how they play out their strategy over this 140-minute race. It's going to be a very, very exciting race. Silverstone is flat, but deceptively tricky. There's a lot of corners that you have to hold on. There's a lot of wide passing zones. That will be very, very exciting to see these drivers navigate lap after lap after lap over the 24-hour cycle that we're going to have running for this.
Interestingly enough, at the moment on the server, I don't see anybody, but I'm trying to find out if I chose the right server. So that's what you on the stream are just seeing pits and some animated Muppets doing the same movements all the time. Check.
Indeed.
No,
we hope
only
you'll
have that
stand
one.
with us as we figure things out. We are working towards getting the race up and running for you guys. That's the issue with this digital format, with sim racing. Sometimes you got to work through a few bugs. We hope you'll stick with us, and we'll be back shortly.
What is very possible is that all the drivers at the moment are the driver discussion. Ed is gonna tell them a couple of rules, what to do or not to do, blue flag rules, and so on. Flag rules, by the way, are not the typical endurance blue flag rules like the WEC has them, where the one shown the blue flag just keeps its racing line completely normal, and the other has just to overtake the driver. Here is whoever gets the blue flag has to give way to the other, has to find a way, even moving out of the racing line, of the preferred racing line, to go into to let the other pass.
We're seeing the Puddle Smashers car on the grid, that number 8 McLaren.
By the way, just for those interested, we have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 McLarens, one BMW, 2 Aston Martins, and I suppose Ed is gonna also drive. So Global Enduro is also gonna drive an Aston Martin. No Italians at all. A Mercedes AMG and a Lexus RC. And a Bentley. Ah, I love the Bentley.
It seems that the British cars are popular for this race at Silverstone.
The British cars are always quite popular amongst Assetto Corsa Competizione drivers. At least that's my feeling. A lot of people go for the Aston or the McLaren, as both are quite good, quite stable to drive. Some specialists go for the Bentley, and the Ferraris and Lamborghinis and so on. The Italians are more nervous, so I get the feeling that you have to be more experienced in setting up the car, in driving it, in dealing with a nervous car, so that you can indeed drive one of the Italian cars.
We have now Keith Racing, Dresden Reapers, and let's see, that is the number 11 car of Tom & Co. Racing on the grid. Now joined by Speed 12, the number 2. And it looks like our grid is rounding out, and we see Booter driving out to the track. I'm going to guess this is for some warm-up laps.
Let's take a look from the inside. This is already Maggots and Beckett's because the GT cars of the SRO do not start at the same place on Silverstone as the Formula Ones do. So if you're more accustomed to Formula One, they are starting in the middle of the track for you. For those of us accustomed to GT3, they are starting at the normal place, which is shortly before Maggots and Beckett's, which are horrible to drive. Many times I've gone out of there or been too slow or too fast or We're watching now Kevin Bouter just doing some warming up. We can show you also, let me check, Helicam. Even with the sound, ain't that great?
I'm navigating my way through the menus. Soon I'll have the dedicated server and I'll have more information to present to you guys. SDK, broadcasting, we're almost there.
So, question to the stream. I think that the sounds of the sim are not loud enough, but please let me know. Sound is fine. So the mix of voice and car sound is good. Perfect, fantastic. So Cody, we did right on Wednesday when we fumbled around with all the settings.
Very good. Practice makes perfect, does it not?
Well, at some point it will, yes. No, absolutely. It makes we are perfect.
Yeah, totally.
So we're seeing here a green McLaren. What else? Oh, so we already have. Oh, thank you, Ethan, for the $1.99. Thank you very much.
Hey, wonderful.
Yeah. So we have already the 12 teams on board on the sim.
It looks like we are all in the server, all in the session. We have some cars doing their outlap right now, and we have some cars that have put in their first lap. Um, could you sort of let me know, is this warm-up? Is this...
Yeah,
I believe we had
it's warm up.
qualifying.
Whoa, that was close. It's warm up. The qualifying was already done on Wednesday. Therefore, we're not having any qualifying today. They on Wednesday, what Global Enduro did with the drivers was some warm up, qualifying, and then a very short 20-minute race so that the teams could test driver swaps and so on. While driver swaps on Assetto Corsa Competizione are easy, if it's the first time that you're doing it, or if it's a long time since you've done it the last time, it can be a little bit confusing. But as I said, once you've done it 1-2 times, it should be good. But they had the opportunity to test all that, and what we're seeing now is absolutely just that: warm up and getting the first drivers to get a feel of the track and so on.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
So that's the BMW.
Indeed. So with the warm-up, we're practicing for the race. It can be a good indicator of pace, but it's not going to be as, cutthroat or try-hardy, for a gamery term, as qualifying would be. But Ben Page is in the car, and he's just put in a 2-minute 1-second lap time for the number 5 team, Challenge Racing. We are on board with...
No, I moved to Ben Page because you just
I
said
see.
about Ben
We're
Page.
on board with this page.
Sorry, mate.
All good. So, if you can't tell by the accent difference, we're not in the same room. And so, to see what the stream is doing, what Serta is doing with the cameras, I'm watching the live stream along with you guys. It's on a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
So if there's any issues with that, just understand that that's just inherent in our international format that we're working with today. So some of the interesting things about our drivers, they left the things that they wanted to talk about themselves, and one of the interesting ones that caught my eye was Matt Atkins for T-Total Motorsport, and he wanted to mention that he always races with beer. This is a 3-hour race.
No, well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
two and a little.
Race. Yeah, there we go. 140-minute race. But if you're racing with beer for that long, that could get interesting.
Well, he only has 40-minute stint, so or maybe he has 2 40-minute stints. I don't know. But anyway, yes, interesting could be the word I choose. And of course, in real life, don't drink and drive. It's a very, very stupid thing to do. If you're on your cockpit in front of the computer, do whatever you want. The only thing that is going to get crashed is, other than your ego, bits and bytes. Who cares? But in real life, don't do that. You could get hurt. You could hurt others. Not a good idea.
Certainly. On a lighter note, Kevin Puter is continuing his pace increase. His last lap was a 2-minute 1-second .407. Interestingly enough, Kevin, I specify as Kevin because we also have Michael Buter, and I apologize if I mispronounce any names. I'm just going to pronounce them phonetically, or do my best, whichever I think works well enough. But he marked himself as slower but steady, and right now he's putting in the best lap times. So we have some humble drivers among us.
So I've been told on Discord that I'm a little bit too loud or much louder than the sound of the motor. And Cody, chat, please let me know. If it's the case, then I would reduce my microphone.
So right now we have 8 of the 12 team cars out on track. Kevin's in the pits. Ben Page just crossed the line recently. Did a 2-minute, 0 seconds, 0.990. So fairly close to Kevin Booter's 2-minute, 1 second, 0.407. And then we have Michael Booter, 2-minute, 2 seconds, 0.007 right behind. And then Brian Chamcham putting in a 2-minute, 2 second, 0.082 behind that. So it's going to be some close racing. I can feel it. I can feel it, because this is just the warm-up, you know? They're not going full out, and they're all pretty close together up at the front there.
They're doing in the warm-up better times than I do in racing. I'm gonna start hating these guys a little bit, just a tiny little bit.
There we go. I'll be good cop and you can be bad cop. How's that?
Exactly. Oh, Brett just let me know over Discord that he's from Texas. Interestingly enough, I know another person from Texas here.
Really? I wonder who. Howdy, everybody.
So yeah, Brett is the only American racing in this rather European European group. Not that we only have people from Europe inside of Global Enduro, but the times we race are mostly Europe times, GMT mostly, as many are Brits. But for example, Ryan, who is today, it seems, only on the chat and not in the race, is from the States. Brett is from the States. And Cody, you have raced with these guys also on R Factor 2.
I have. And I am also from Texas. I'm currently residing in Oklahoma, which is just Texas's hat. But I am permanently a resident of Texas. So there's no change to our fastest laps so far. We're still with Ben Page, who's currently in the pits, with a 2-minute, 0.990 seconds. Ooh, we just saw, well, we didn't see him, but I just saw Shabito get a little squirrely into one of the corners. I need to pull up my track map so I can tell you which corner.
It seems that it was either Maggots or Beckett's, seeing from where he is right now.
They'll do that. They'll do that. Those are tricky corners.
Yeah, it's I needed some long time to at least remember a couple of the corners. It's not that I could tell you how all the corners are called, but a couple of them I do know. And Maggots and Beckett's, because they are really difficult, are the first ones that I learned.
See, I can drive Silverstone, and I'm looking at a map of it right now. I don't think I could draw Silverstone. You know, I can draw Spa-Francorchamps. I can draw Le Mans. I don't think I could draw Silverstone. That's my level of expertise with it. I can drive it. I just couldn't draw it. You know, I don't know it well enough to draw it.
It's a little bit complex. You can see on Silverstone that it's grown and found different ways over time. By the way, to whoever is interested in the story of the different ways this track has been having, the different configurations, Automobilista 2 has a historic DLC with Silverstone in, I think it's 3 or 4 different decades, and it's very interesting to see how Silverstone has changed over time, how the characteristics of the track have been changing.
That is wonderful. And if you do not have Automobilista 2, Project Cars, I believe Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa all have 1960s Silverstone. We are about a minute to start. We are all on the grid. We're going to be, I believe, driving around a lap.
No, I think it's only half a lap.
Half a lap? Okay.
Yeah. As far as I remember, I'm getting mixed up because I also race in another series and they do a whole lap, which is boring as heck, but it's more realistic, of course. But I think Global Enduro does have a lap.
I see. Is this going to be a rolling start or a standing start?
It's a rolling start. SRO starts are always rolling starts.
Wonderful. T-minus 30.
So let's see. One thing that many people don't think is, while they have their tires often in the right temperature, they don't have the brakes at the right temperature. And curve 1, corner 1 is always fun. 10 seconds.
Absolutely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are rolling.
Or not. Hello?
We are rolling when the server says we are rolling.
Yeah. Now.
Here we go.
So just to inform you, if you saw one car driving over the other for the initiation lap, this is okay, but the minute the flags go green, this is not allowed to happen anymore. Cars go crunch if they get into each other.
Absolutely. It is not Trackmania, folks.
And there we go.
Here we go. Yes, green flag. We saw a drive-through for one of the drivers. I didn't catch who it was.
Tom Hands.
Tom Hands, I see.
And Kevin Bouter going away.
Cham. Yes, Kevin Boucher going off. Cham went a little off track, which is different from going off to the races. But he is now in a battle with Chabateau as they're going along this first straight. I've lost my mouse.
Not a good thing to do. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Here we are.
ooh.
Mouse is back. Oh boy.
One thing they all have to remember is it's 140 minutes. You don't need to win this on the first lap.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're playing it fairly safe. They've all gone into single file configuration as we come around come around for, I believe, oh goodness, I don't know which start finish straight we're using. There's two at Silverstone. There's the classic start finish straight, and then there's the revised start finish straight, which we got in the late 2000s or early 2010s. As Serta said, Silverstone has Silverstone has
Silverstone. Okay, I vote for a name change.
Silverstone has been going through a bunch of configurations and updates and layout changes throughout the years. And it does get a little confusing sometimes. But it looks like we are coming around for the end of the first lap here as we get this wonderful onboard camera view.
First lap's over. We have Bouter, 6 6 tenths Dowdy, 1 second and a little bit Page, and so on. They're all quite near.
Absolutely. We have Tom Hands coming in to serve his stop and go that he got for a false start at the beginning. Actually, I don't believe it's a stop and go. It's a drive-through.
It's drive-through, exactly.
Yeah. And he has now cleared that.
Should anyone... yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Should anyone not know the difference, drive-through is just you have to go into pits, drive at the pit limit, which I think it's 60 kilometers per hour on Silverstone, and just drive through, as it says. Stop and go is you have to go into your pit, you are not allowed to be serviced, you have to stop for 30 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever is predetermined, and then you can move. So stop and go takes you longer than just a drive-through, but both hurt.
Absolutely. We see Matthew Dowdy knocking on the door of Kevin Booter there, getting very, very close to him in the braking zone there. Ooh, he's definitely letting him know he's there. It looks like he's not going to make a move just yet, and that's probably smart. But he definitely wants to let Kevin Booter there in the McLaren know that he's ready to strike whenever he's ready to strike. This is an interesting battle to watch. You can see in the rear view mirror of Kevin Booter, you can see Dowdy just making his presence known. And as Booter's in the car here, you know, he's going to be aware of that. He's going to be focused on his line, getting things right. But Dowdy just wants him to pay a little bit more attention to that rear view mirror.
And if you're wondering why the camera isn't changing, I think my broadcasting server just broke down, so I have to restart it all over again. Yes, it's dead. All right. Yeah.
Well, the good news is that technical difficulties are temporary. Racing is forever. I don't know what that means, but
no, but it did sound cool.
So that last lap from Kevin Booter was a 2 minute 1 second .290, and Dowdy, who is again knocking on the door. Whoa, Dowdy's a little bit more pace coming around on that first flying lap, but Booter is holding them off so far. And they both set new laps going around the ring one more time, and it was 2 minute .030 versus 2 minute 0.888. So very, very close racing. I do expect this to continue. That gap will widen a little bit, just as you know, the nature of racing, and we have spread out a little bit more. Whoa! We have a car off. We have Ben Page. Ben Page just went off at that previous corner and into the wall. He's back out, he's driving, but it'll be interesting to see what a level of damage he's got there. He went from third down to fifth, and now it looks like he's going to be into sixth place. So
apologies for not being able to show it to you, but I'm still having issues with the broadcasting server, which is a pity. Only thing that I can do... No, I can't do that
Challenge
either.
Racing is going to have an interesting time with that car. It'll be interesting to see what they do, because that was not a soft hit. That was rather tough, and so it'll be interesting to see if they have to come in to pit to repair that damage, or if they think it'll be fine and they'll stay out and manage it. These first few laps certainly are critical for telling you how the race may go. You can't win it on the first few laps, but you can definitely lose it on the first few laps.
It's the first time that it happens to me.
An update on the Tom Hans situation. Tom Hans and his team, Tom & Co Racing, served a drive-through penalty for a false start, and he is still in 12th place, last, but he is slowly catching up to Stuart Thompson in 11th. But we'll have to see how that pace continues. He's marginally faster than Stuart Thompson was on their last lap, but we'll have to see if that continues and how long it will take. But it looks like Tom Hans and his team are going to have an uphill battle after that. This is an interesting battle for third. Scott Mortimer and Quentin Chavito behind the wheel, respectively. A number 3 car that Scott Mortimer is currently riding in third with is Bexley Racing Team. That's Scott Mortimer and Chris Lucas Stewart. Scott is the fast driver of this, and Chris Stewart is listed as slower but steady. Quentin Chavito in the number 1 car in 4th, chasing him down. He is in the Global Enduro race car. His co-driver is Ed Bailey. As we've crossed the line, looks like most of the paces are slowing down just a little bit as the sprint off the line has tamed a little bit, and they're settling into endurance racing spec. Pardon me, they're settling into their endurance racing pace.
So, apologies if you see all the time the same car. I'm working on getting the broadcasting server that worked like a charm until now, again connected into the game, so that I can change cameras and you can see different cars and all that. I fear the only way to get this going again would be to restart the computer, but of course if I restart the computer we lose the race and we lose the stream. Not a good idea.
Well, that'll be your call, Serta, on what you would like to do.
No. At least the people in the stream can see the race from this perspective until I get these stupid piece of software running again.
Classic case of man versus machine here. We've crossed the line again. We have not some new fastest laps, but I can give you some last lap times just to let you know a bit of where the pace is heading. In P1, Kevin Buter with 2 minute 0.088. 2 minute 0 seconds 0.882. Matthew Dowdy 2 minutes 2.163 seconds. Scott Mortimer 2 minutes 1.995 seconds. If he keeps that pace up, they'll catch P2. But there is a bit of space in between them, so that might take a while. In P3, we have Scott Mortimer behind the wheel in the number 3 car. And that was a 2 minute and... I'm sorry, I just read that one. In the number 1 car in P4, we have Quentin Chaviteau, who pulled a 2 minute 3.021. And then behind him in 5th place, we have a 2 minute 2.919 from Michael Buter. So we've got some folks behind who are putting in paces that are a little bit better than the folks ahead. So it's an endurance race. We'll be here for a while, but it looks like we're going to have some good battles cooking in the works as folks shuffle around.
Talking about battle, excuse me on the stream. I'm gonna stop my Assetto Corsa Competizione and restart it and hope that this way the issues with the broadcasting server get solved. If not, well, tough luck. So you're gonna see nothing for a couple of hopefully seconds, but I'm gonna be streaming Assetto Corsa Competizione as soon as I can.
Well, I will give you Radio Rom Rom until then. There's an interesting battle for 6th place. We have Matt Atkins in the number 4 car and Ben Page in the number 5 car close behind. And then, not to be forgotten, we have Ross King in the number 8, who is also very, very close to them. Whoa, oh, we see a bit of a slide from Matt Atkins, and Ben Page takes that position. Absolutely stunning, stunning work, taking advantage of the mistake. And now Ross King has his eyes set on Matt Atkins, who's now in 7th. Ben Page is in 6th. Ross King is in 8th. And chasing down Matt Atkins, hoping to also take advantage of a mistake. But Matt Atkins gets nice and close as Ben Page slows down a little bit early. This was a very, very good battle. Looks like they're spreading out a little bit more now as I've said, shuffled the cards a little bit. But yes, it looks like Ben Page took that pace, had the pace, took advantage of the mistake, and benefited as a result. Ross King is maybe 2 car lengths away from Matt Atkins in the corner. He's definitely chasing him down, using all the space on the outside and the inside. We're looking at P8 right now. Sarda, if you would like to take a look at the action here.
There we go. It works again, as always with computers. Stop and restart, and it works again, hopefully, until the end of the race. Sorry for that, guys and gals.
Wonderful. It looks like he's looking to make a move. He's keeping that door open. Maybe... Oh, yep! Matt Atkins goes off. Oh, and Ross King slows down out of an abundance of caution, just in case Matt Atkins came back across the road there. But he's still chasing him. He's got his eye on him for sure. In case you're worried about the lead, it is Unchanged, Kevin Booter in P1, Matthew Dowdy in P2, Scott Mortimer in P3. And Ross King,
And-
that number 2 Speed 12 car, getting closer, showing him what he's made of, for sure.
This is a corner that is quite difficult. You have to brake at the right time. And yeah, Atkins did not brake soon enough, but okay, the battle continues.
Absolutely. You can see Ross King patient. He's not going to make a move, I think, until he's really, really ready, confident that he can do it safely. Again, this is an endurance race. We're going to be here for 140 minutes. Got about 2 hours left of the race. And so if he makes the move and he gets it right, good for him. He's a position ahead. If he makes a move and he gets it wrong, that could potentially be race ending. So he definitely would benefit from being cautious in this scenario, making a pass so early in the race. Ooh. He's definitely braking later than Adkins is, that's for sure. And I think that's where he's getting a lot of the speed from.
Yeah, no, he's in a good position. We're at the start and end straight. And if he gets the next corner right...
Whoa!
No!
No! Oh no!
Bother.
Adkins goes off. Adkins
Yeah.
goes off. Got hit from Ross King in the back right corner.
And King is waiting for Atkins, or not? Yeah, I think he is. Exactly.
Absolutely. And we see Brian Cham and oh goodness, who is that? My timing has not updated.
Atkins, King, Cham, Thompson.
Thompson, I see it.
It seems either King is letting people pass a lot, or he got some issues because he went into the green again. But King, being a complete gentleman, gentle driver, as we all expect everyone to be in sim racing, after punting Atkins, waited for Atkins to retake the position.
Absolutely, and unfortunately for King, that put him down into 10th position.
I have the suspicion that he's gonna recover from it.
Absolutely, he does have pretty good pace compared to those ahead of him. Best lap for Cham was 2:05. Ross King's 2:03. So if they keep striving and keep getting close to their best laps, as tire wear and the track conditions change, that can shift one way or another. But so long as they keep up that general pace, then I think we'll see Ross King come back from that mistake in the 2 hours that we have remaining. It's 1 minute 15 or 1 hour 59. 1 minute 59. It's almost over, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally not. We're here for a little bit longer for sure. We're 10 laps in on the marker.
And the times are looking quite good. Interestingly enough, most of them are doing times over 2 minutes. 2:01, 2:01, 2:02, with the best times being 2:00. But they are keeping a good time of 2 minutes. All in all, the worst, of course, was Ross King with 2:20, but of course he waited for Atkins. The other racers are all between 2:01 and 2:04. Of course, in racing, 3 seconds are a lot, but still.
Stuart Thompson, in 9th position, has gone off. I don't think he's in 9th position anymore. But he went backwards through the entrance to one of the corners.
Not a good way to do that.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a bit of bit of overzealous braking, perhaps. I didn't see the beginning of the wreck, but it looks like he's getting back into it. He is still in. Is he?
Ninth.
He's
Well,
in
it looks
ninth.
like.
No, he's in 10th. He's in 10th if we look on the on-screen display as opposed to just our broadcasting clients.
No, the on-screen display also shows 8th, 9th, I mean. So I
It
don't know.
sure does. On mine, it shows him in 10th.
Now,
Interesting.
okay. It seems that now he passed through a timing to a timing pointer, and that put him. And Prangley is
Prangley is right up by him, looking to capitalize on Thompson's mistake. And then we see Tom Hands, handicapped by the drive-through penalty at the start, and it looks like he might also get his first pass of the day if he keeps up his pace. As Prangley and Thompson battle it out, he may actually be the big winner of that situation.
but we've seen a couple of drivers going off or being punted and so on. But all in all, it shows that the drivers have understood that this is a long race. So I haven't seen many desperate actions. I mean, the issue between Atkins and King was a normal racing issue. Atkins closed the curve, and King thought he got it, and well, he punted him. But all in all, I don't see a lot of desperate action.
Tom
And
Hands is making a move. Tom Hands is making a move. They're alongside. He's alongside Prangley. Oh, and he lets him by. He lets him by for the braking zone. That was probably the better move for the interest of self-preservation. But he's definitely letting him know, I want a position. I don't want to be last. Tom Hands' last lap was a 2:04, and Tom Prangley's was a 2:06. So you know Hands is going to be feeling a little bit held back and wanting to make a move, wanting to get ahead of him so he can keep working at the other, keep working towards the other positions. But Tom Prangley does not want to give that up, nor should he. So we're looking for a fight. And I think we're going to get it. Ooh, in the braking zone here, getting a little close. Little closer. Tom Hands can keep that up. He'll be right alongside him again.
ooh, cutting the corner quite close. And there's somebody in pits. Yes, Brian Chamcham went into pits. There he is.
Yep,
So I suppose
Jolly Holly Racing.
we're gonna see the first driver change.
Yes,
I'm
we
just going through the positions. We have Kevin Bowter on first, Matthew Dowdy on second, Scott Mortimer on third, Quentin Chavito on fourth, Michael Bowter on fifth, Ben Page on sixth, Matt Atkins on seventh, Ross King on eighth, Stuart Thompson on ninth, Tom Prangley on 10th, Tom Hands on 11th, and of course Brian Chamcham in pits on 12. Minimum pit stop is, I think, 30 or 40 seconds, so don't be surprised if it takes a little bit longer. This is as would be expected. So Brian is coming out of pits, but it's still Brian on in the cockpit as far as I can see. They either had an issue changing the driver, or they didn't want to change the driver yet.
quite possibly. They may have come in for perhaps even a damage issue that we didn't see. Or it may have just been, fuel and tires. Although that would be a little early in the race. It'll be interesting to see how
Yeah.
this strategy plays out. Oh, wait, no, it's updated. It is James Ronan. They did do a driver change. It didn't update on our timing screen, but yes, that was our first driver change of the day. And that is the Jolly Holly Racing Bentley Continental GT3 with the number 10 on the side.
The Bentley. I love driving the Bentley. It's a boat, but it's a very lovely boat.
The Love Boat.
Yeah. Don't get me singing. Also because the song is not very good.
I am seeing. Well, okay, I'm seeing a battle between 4th and 5th, sort of. But it is bookended, or perhaps not bookended, but it is sandwiching James Ronan in that number 10 car. And as we come around towards the pit lane again, it looks like nobody else is making their driver changes just yet. It'll be interesting to see that Jolly Holly Racing team, seeing if that strategy to change drivers so early pays off for them. Because
maybe
they are in last.
Yeah, but maybe they had some technical issue, and they decided to mix both together. Ooh.
Possibly.
Locking the brakes. Now, of course, it looks as if Ronan would be in the fray, but no, the fray is not there. It's just Bouter passing
Bouter
him.
makes the pass. Yeah, Bouter does
no,
make
we
the
have
pass
two Bouters. That's...
Yes, there's Michael Bouter and Kevin Bouter, both on different racing teams. So the number 8 Puddle Smashers has Kevin, and the, let's see, where was it? Drexton Reapers has Michael.
And now the Thompson Twins team is also into pits.
Yes,
as is Prangley. So I think we're
in.
gonna be seeing the first pit stops and driver changes. It's very easy for us commentators with the Thompson Twins team because either are called, of course, Thompson, and therefore we just have to say, oh, Thompson has taken the place of Thompson, and that's it. We don't have to memorize anything else.
Well, Stuart Thompson came into the pits, and I believe it will be Cameron Thompson leaving the pits. Both of them marked themselves as midfield, so we will have to see if the driver change changes pace any. I'm not expecting it to be a game changer. Yeah, he's just driving out again. Once he crosses a timing line, we will know if they did make their driver change. But I'm going to guess that that is the case.
Game is showing Meissner. The game is showing Meissner as the driver, so I would say that they did. Ben Page is going into pits, so yeah, we're gonna see. At the moment, it's gonna be difficult to say who is in front of whom, as they are all going slowly but surely into pits.
Absolutely. Notably, our leader, Kevin Bouter, with Puddle Smashers, has stayed out so far. He has not come in yet. He is waiting. As has P2, Matthew Dowdy, and P3, Scott Mortimer. They have all stayed out so far. Ben Page right now is your only driver in the pits. If we look at the number P5, Michael Bouter.
P5? Okay.
He will be coming around pretty quick. Looks like he'll make that pass. Yep. And there's there's some drivers behind him that looks like the Global Enduro Aston Martin behind him, with Quentin Chavito. Oh, okay. It just showed on my screen there was a pass made. Butcher is now ahead of Chavito.
And getting far ahead. Ooh, I think Ben Page did a boo-boo in pits because he now has a stop and go of 30 seconds, which normally happens if you're too fast into pits or outside, going out of pits. That's gonna hurt.
Brett Beard actually coming out of the pits there. Ben Page was the one in that car going into the pits, and then they made their driver change. But Brett Beard is taking control of the car and is perhaps having a little bit of trouble adjusting because he's also gone off.
Yeah.
But he's back on. Shake that off while you're on the straight. Stretch your back out and hunker down for
Take
some
deep
more
breaths.
racing. Hopefully, yes. Take deep breaths. Take it easy. Brake early if you're having issues there.
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Brett Beard, yeah. Brett Beard is marked as fast, and looks like perhaps he's just having a good bit of trouble adjusting to the car. Perhaps some issues with sensitivity adjustment. But he's definitely going to be one to watch. Matt Atkins and Tom Hands of Jensen Team Rocket RG in and AVG Matt, not respectively, opposite of respectively. They're both in.
By the way, if anyone is
Tom
wondering,
Hands, as we knew, was the one.
Brett is having some issues there. In case anyone is wondering, according to the rules of the SRO, you have 3 laps to serve a penalty. So he can stay out another 2 laps, and at the end of the 3rd, he has to go into pits or he'll be disqualified. So you have some time to get, the adrenaline out of the system before you go into pits to serve your penalty.
Matt Atkins is now coming out of the pits. It is Jack Taylor behind the wheel. AVG Matt is the team. Tom Hands is still in the pits, now being replaced by Anna Bowl. That's Jensen Team Rocket. And Quentin Chavito in the number 1 car is going to be pitting in. That's going to be replaced by Ed Bailey. Still Kevin Butcher, Matthew Dowdy, and Scott Mortimer in P1, P2, and P3, and for what it's worth, P4, Michael Butcher, are all staying out. None of them have pitted in yet. Mr. Chavito with Global Enduro Racing Team is the highest position car to pit in so far.
By the way, on the stream, you can see the number of pit stops they still have to do. If you see 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, and so on, that's that number, that white number on orange background. That tells you how many pit stops they still have to serve. And Kevin Bouter is now going into pits, as is Dowdy.
As is Dowdy. It'll be interesting to see how long this takes for each of them, because they both come in at pretty much the exact same time. Scott Mortimer is also in.
Yeah, number 1, 2, and 3 all went on the same round into pits. And number 4, to make it difficult for me to find a car that I can show you on the track.
Well, this pit battle is going to be interesting because the order in which these drivers get their driver changes and the cars get repaired, that could potentially determine your new race order, because the number 8 car, Puddle Smashers, is in front, and then Tech 1 Racing in second, Bexley Racing Team in third, and Drexton Reapers in fourth. And it looks like your leader, Kevin Butcher, has perhaps stayed behind the wheel. We're gonna see if that updates, but Puddle Smashers is out. Number 2, Matthew Dowdy, is now out. Oh, it is Callum Baker behind the wheel. Tech 1 Racing has just updated on my screen. Scott Mortimer, Bexley Racing Team, is out. We'll have to see if that was a driver change. And then Drexton Reapers is still in the pits. They are now out. So it looks like no change to our main order. Whoa! P3, an issue. Did we have a stream issue? Or is this a server issue?
I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange because
I think the
I
server's gone
cannot
down.
choose. Oh, that would be a pity if the server went down. Because
Oh no.
the
It's down on my end too.
yeah, the the sim is still going on, but I cannot choose any of the racers, and I cannot do anything. But the sim is still hunky dory. Think we. That would be a pity, as this race
Well,
was
I have
going quite well.
screenshotted the top results. I have screenshotted the top results. I've screenshotted the driver's position on track. I will put that in the Discord, just so
Perfect.
we'll have it, just in case we need to start again.
Good thinking, mate.
You got it. Let's see.
So,
I'm gonna post it.
apologies to the stream, but this is outside our control. The server was updated today. The provider did some thingies, which is of course a technical term, and maybe they broke something, or maybe it's just bad luck, because this server has been very stable, and of course the day we go live with it and show it to everyone, it breaks. Yeah, servers crashed.
Well, we can attribute this to, or rather, we can liken this to, you know, rain delays or lightning near the track, as we would pause something in real life for. This is, a server issue. It affects everybody. We're just going to go to a red flag, and we will reset and regroup.
Yeah, but during a red flag, we can go. We can go and show, I don't know, cars or the people. Anyway, it seems as if we really will have to restart. It happens. What can we tell you? I can tell you a little bit about Silverstone for those who don't know.
I can put a little bit of context into the lap times for GT3 cars
Go
around
ahead.
here. So today our best lap time was set at the very beginning of the race with Kevin Butcher behind the wheel, 2 minutes 0.030 seconds, and the overall race lap record was, unsurprisingly, in a Formula One car, 2020 British Grand Prix, and it was Max Verstappen's lap in the race of 1 minute 27.097. So that's a good solid 30 seconds faster, 33 seconds faster than what the best driver here in the GT3 cars can do.
But it's a
Uh,
Formula One.
but it
Let's
is a Formula One, yes, absolutely.
put a Formula One in an enduro race, and I'm not talking 140 minutes, and I don't think the motor would survive because they're not made for that.
Indeed. This is absolutely not related to anything other than like a Formula One car, but uh, back whenever I played GTR2 as my main sim, there was a Formula One mod. There was a bunch of Formula One mods for GTR2, but there was one in particular. There was a Ferrari where if you took the downforce just all the way down to 0, you could go pretty much as fast as you wanted in a straight line. And of course, there weren't any like endless floor tracks or just like major test tracks for GTR2 at the time. And so what I ended up doing was I just took it to Daytona, and I used the Daytona oval, and I was able to hit like 250 miles an hour at Daytona in the Formula One car with no aero.
I mean, there is a mod for Assetto Corsa with a car that has an enormously fast motor, uh, downforce outside of physics and so on, and you can do Nürburgring in, I think, something like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. But of course, that's completely cheating.
Was that the one that Jimmy Broadbent took in one of his videos?
No
Um,
idea. It's possible,
it's like
but
a Formula
I don't know.
DS or something like that. It's a
Oh.
gray car, isn't it?
Yeah, although as those who follow the channel know, I prefer to drive like quirky things, like I don't know, the Robin, the Mini, or like I did this week, Dakar trucks and stuff like that.
Those
Um,
Dakar trucks are so fun. They're
yeah.
not so great if you're trying to race against AI, but by yourself or with some friends locally, those are really, really enjoyable.
Uh,
It's a shame that they haven't been updated very well, but there's there's some fun. There's some fun to be had there.
yeah, somebody in the comments of that video told me that the issue was that the LODs were not loaded and
Ah,
were not even produced. And if I would know a little bit more about modding, I would produce them myself, because it seems that there is a piece of software that makes it quite easily for Assetto Corsa, and update that. On the other hand, the AI is still crap at driving, so for the AI, I wouldn't do it. But if you race against others, of course, so that your computer doesn't go in 99% CPU, it would be a good idea. I'm not getting any information at the moment about what is happening with the servers, so I don't know exactly what we're supposed to do. I'm gonna be a couple of seconds silent and off, trying to find out how we continue here. Okay, it seems that the team is at the moment discussing how to continue. They may change into a backup server that they had in the background. That's been analyzed and discussed. Sorry about that, but yeah, let's say that we had a red flag for whatever issue. Godzilla appeared in the middle of Silverstone and wanted to snack a little bit, so we red flagged and are waiting for the troops to get Godzilla away.
That sounds a lot more interesting than what's actually going on. So I'll go with that. So while they work on wrangling Godzilla, I have a joke.
Uh-oh.
I do. I have a joke. So one of these days, I was hanging out, and somebody asked me, "What do you do? You know, what do you like to do?" And I said, "Well, I race cars." And they said, "Well, do you win many races?" And I said, "No, the cars are a lot faster. I can't keep up."
Mate, if that was the joke, I don't understand it.
Well, all right. If I have to explain it to you, it's no longer a
Yeah,
joke.
exactly. Explaining a joke, never mind. Okay, the the chat gets it. That's good enough. That's good enough for me. I'll listen to the replay and try to find out, and if not, I'll ask you.
Okay. Well,
Next
the
time we
idea being that I'm on foot, you know, I race the cars, you know. Pay the bill, Certus. Oh, Ryan.
Mate, if it would be an issue of money, we wouldn't have an issue. But it's an issue of I don't know. Seems Ed is checking if the server works. It may very well be that they are changing into, as I said, a backup server that was set up. And Average Matt is showing us his tranquilizer called Stella Artois. I don't know. How do you pronounce that? It's not a French beer, so.
Stella Artois, I believe it is.
But it's not a French beer.
Well, I don't know if it's a French beer or not, but I think that's how it's pronounced. But let's see. Was he the one? Was he the one that said?
Could very well
Yeah, yeah, he was. He was the one. He always races with beer. Yep.
It's
Belgian.
Belgian? Really?
Stella Artois, Belgian. There you go.
I thought it was like Haagen-Dazs, only pseudo non-American. But thanks for letting me know.
If it is almost French, but it's not French, it's probably Belgian.
Ooh, the Belgians are gonna skin you alive for that one.
No, I've got nothing against Belgium. I like Belgians. Spa-Francorchamps is there.
Absolutely. And Zolder.
Yeah, that's a good one also. Let's see.
So it seems that he's always with a beer in his hand. There are worse ways to spend the day, so
Certainly, and if you're, you know, red flagged like this, perhaps if you're not going to go out on track for a little bit longer, I think Stella Artois is not a bad idea. Let's see.
I was prepared for many things, but not for a situation like that because, as I said, we've been racing with Global Enduro every what is it, Wednesday, and we have never had an issue with the server. We have restarted the races many times because I remember there was a race where the first 3 times people went completely off, and it was more ping pong than racing, and the server has been going puttering along with no issues. So, well. By the way, as we are on the issue of Assetto Corsa Competizione and Great Britain, today, or no, yesterday, GT and Kunos, British GT and Kunos published the news that next week, Wednesday, I think it's gonna be, they're gonna publish the GT Championship DLC, which is gonna bring 3 new tracks.
I am a big fan of British GT. I think of all the like GT national like GT series that I watch, that are GT3 cars. I think British GT is probably the one that I watch the most, which isn't saying a lot, because I don't like it's not like on TV over here or anything like that. I have to go look for it. But I do really enjoy watching British GT. And there's
Yeah.
always some like strange fun stuff, like a just GT4 Bentley Continental, just cause, or various other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the DLC will also allow to do multi-class races, as it seems that the British GT Championship does multi-class GT3 and GT4 at the same time.
Yes.
And for those that don't know, the 3 new tracks are going to be Alton Park, Snetterton, and Donington Park. Which will be added to Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and interestingly enough, Spa, which are all the tracks that the drivers race on the British GT Championship.
Indeed.
If you're a console racer, Kunos gave the very precise date of late spring.
Also, if you're a console racer, I'm sorry.
True that.
Um,
Kunos dropped the ball on that one.
yeah.
They have such a great sim, and they go and deliver a sim that only does 30 FPS on console. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. Well, our standings as we were going in and coming out that are frozen on my timing screen since the server crashed. We had car number 8 in P1, Kevin Butcher behind the wheel. I don't think Kevin Butcher is still behind the wheel because they like switched. But before anything changed, on our timing screen or on the screen in the sim, it was Kevin Butcher, car number 8 for Puddle Smashers. Matthew Dowdy, car number 7 for Team Falcon UK. Scott Mortimer, car number 3, Bexley Racing Team in 3rd place. Michael Butcher had come into the pits, car number 9 in P4. That is Drexton Reapers. In 5th, we had Ross King in the number 2 Speed 12 McLaren 720S GT3. We had Ed Bailey, who had just come out, gotten in the car and come out of the pits in the number 1 car in P6. That's with the Aston Martin, one of a few Aston Martins, I believe. 3 in this race. Yeah, okay. There's a more than I thought there was. Jack Taylor in P7. That's a very good racing name. Number 4 car. T Total Motorsport. And he had just taken over for Matt Adkins, who had gone in, Average Matt, on Discord. And number 10 in P8, we have James Ronan for Jolly Holly Racing. They've been doing they've been doing. Um, staying about mid-pack, about where they said that they would be in their driver pace self-rating. Mike Meissner in the number 12 car of Thompson Twins in P9. In P10, we have Brett Beard, who is marked as pits, as being
Yeah,
in the
he was
pits.
serving. He was serving his stop and go.
Serving a stop and go penalty. Yes. He's in the number 5 car of Challenge Racing, alongside Ben Page. Anna Bowl had recently taken over for Tom Hands in the Tom & Co. Racing McLaren 720S GT3 with the big number 11 on the side, and they are in P11. And then rounding out last place, we have the number 6 car, Alex Ald. And that number 6 team is Keith Racing, racing alongside Tom Prangley in the BMW M6 GT3. So those are your results as we finished off last time. And then we have, Kevin Booter, Matthew Dowdy, Scott Mortimer, all staying there in P1, P2, and P3, just as we had off the line. This has been exciting, especially in the midfield.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see somebody driving a Mercedes, because I remember we did, what was it? I think it was Spa. We did just a one-off, all driving the Mercedes AMG in Spa, and that is an understeering monster. We all hated it like the plague. It was very difficult to get it into the curves, and luckily it was Spa and not something like Zolder or something like that, because that would have been worse. But it was bad enough that we all said, you know what, let's, the next time we do a single model race, let's not take the Mercedes. By the way, and away from any server issues, if you want to race Assetto Corsa Competizione or R Factor 2 regularly, I think R Factor 2 races are every Sunday and Assetto Corsa Competizione every Wednesday. You are very much invited to go to Global Enduro, to the Discord, and there start racing to your heart's delight. As far as I remember, and I think I remember correctly, the next series that we're gonna do on Assetto Corsa Competizione, it's gonna be GT4 cars. And of course, while you're on the stream from this channel, be a lamb and press the like button. And if you want to get a lot of videos, news, and everything around sim racing and racing games, go ahead and subscribe. We have nothing against it, much to the contrary.
Well, let's see. I'm looking for a few more racing jokes, hopefully ones that Serta will get.
Very funny.
Hey, there you go. It worked. I did it. I made a joke. Let's see. Let's see. There's some really bad jokes about racing that even I don't think are funny. Well, I can insult myself. That's always interesting.
Yeah.
I can say that I'm a slow driver. I am sometimes. Sometimes I'm a fast driver. If I turn the AI like difficulty way down, I'm a really fast driver. Yeah. Let's see. We apologize for the server going down. We had not planned for for this.
Nope. I would have organized a couple of cards with questions and things. We expected very much to go as it normally goes, which is quite good.
I'm I'm scrolling through some auto racing jokes and I cannot find any that I can say on stream or
Oh,
that even would make sense.
even worse. I very much suppose that Ed and the other ones are frantically working behind their screens. So the last thing that they need is me pestering them with questions. At the moment, we are in the same position that you are, and we're watching the exit of pits. Seeing the time move down and knowing that the server doesn't work and not being able to show you any other parts of Silverstone, which is a pity.
Indeed. Let's see what else we've got.
Anything that I click here, well, it changed a little bit, but not really much. Nope. I can go to pits or helicam. That's all that I can do. Okay, we're being asked to go out of the server, so that's what I'm gonna do. The server is gonna be restarted, so I'm gonna quit. At least out of the server.
All right, I've got a joke that's decent. All right.
Who wants to hear that? No, go
Well,
ahead.
the alternate is bad. um, what does a Texan say when he walks into a German car dealership? Audi.
Ah, that hurt.
Yeah, see, these aren't good.
So if you're saying this is one of the best, ouch, I don't want to hear the others.
Yeah, you see? See what we're dealing with? Well, you can consider this your 7th inning stretch. We're not to the 7th inning yet. This is probably like the 2nd or 3rd inning, but this is your 2nd or 3rd inning stretch, folks.
Okay, and for those who don't know diddly about baseball, like me, what does that mean? Is it the middle of the game, the end of the game?
So there's 9 innings in a game, and then there's like the top of an inning and the bottom of an inning, which is home team at bat and away team at bat. And they have the 7th inning stretch, which is a tradition where at the 7th inning everybody gets a bit of a break for a time, and then there's like fun events on the field, and you could get up, go get some water, all that. Beat the traffic if your team's really, really badly losing.
Okay, so with regards to the server, they're working and trying to find a way to have everybody in soon, giving some technical recommendations what to do. It may be difficult to put the drivers in the order that they were. And of course, we don't know if when the race starts again, if they're gonna do the whole 140 minutes once again. I don't think so. But for now, I do know that the guys on the server are doing their best, and we don't have a big team, so we have the people on the server, Cody and me on the broadcast, and that's it. So it's not as if we can say, oh yeah, we have some people on the server and then we have race control looking over it, and then we have nothing of the like.
We do have, I don't have his name to connect him with our timing screen data, but Matrix86M in the Discord has said that they, as a driver, are going to have to retire and their teammates are going to have to take over. I'm not sure who that is with the with regards to real names and the teams. Perhaps, Sarda, you know who that is better than I do.
Yeah, if I would be looking at the right spreadsheet, I would be able to tell you. Server is back.
Yep, and I'm seeing drivers in the race. So it looks like we might be getting back up and running here pretty soon. I did post my screenshot of the timing from before, or from when we. Oh, I see lost connection.
Oh, bother.
That's unfortunate. Well, it was back up for a second, and then it went back down.
And it's up now, so quit.
Up now.
And At least Assetto Corsa Competizione remembers the password, and I don't have to type it all over and over and over again.
Indeed. All right, we're back in.
Okay,
Loading
we have
up.
nine cars on the track.
Booter is out with a warm-up, and then right back again. That is still Kevin Booter behind the wheel. Confirmed. So it looks like the server configuration is 5. Pardon me.
5 minutes practice.
Yeah, 5 minutes practice, and then an hour 50 we had left on the clock for race time. So it looks like that is what we will be doing.
Which is roundabout what we had, yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, we have 10 teams.
Just need 2 more.
And if I see it correctly, but you have the screenshot, the order of the teams is the one that we had when it froze, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So
Yeah, so they'll have to probably get back into that order manually, is my guess. Unless it can
no,
be
it doesn't
assigned.
have to be. If you edit the file of the server the right way, like for example, tell it, okay, the results of qualifying were as follows, then you don't have to do that.
Ah, okay.
So you can remember that Global Enduro did the qualifying on Wednesday, and therefore they had to tell the server in some way which were the results of qualifying. And oh great, my broadcast system went down again. On the other hand,
Oh,
if now I have to reconnect, it's not that bad.
mhm.
Go. Yeah, it works. Perfect. So today is one of those days where
Indeed.
things don't work.
We're stopped, but we'll get back to it. Yellow flag in sector 3. Try to see why that might be.
Green again. No, yellow. Ah, it
Oh, Scott
may.
Mortimer was off. And Thompson is also stopped on the track. Well, we've got 1 minute and 25 seconds left of free practice, and then we will be restarted and we'll be going again. Do you think this is going to put everybody back on the lead lap? Because we had it spread out between, I think, 3
Yeah,
laps there.
yeah. That's not something that you can put into the server, telling it, okay, A, B, C, and D are, I don't know, 1 lap behind or something like that. So
Indeed. So that's
it's
quite the blessing for those that were at the back and
yeah.
had been lapped by the leaders. Looks like Stuart Thompson might be having some sort of a technical issue because it looked like it spawned him perhaps outside. Oh, he's going again. He's going again, but he was stopped on the start-finish straight.
There
Wonderful.
you
It's
go.
good to see that he's able to move again. Whee! Off goes Matt Atkins.
Yep. Yeah, thing is, of course, so to speak, the drivers have gone cold. Like you have, when you're driving, and especially in enduro, you get to a rhythm. You get to a way of driving, of getting the curves, now we are about to start. And of course, that's something that the drivers have lost now, and they have to get into that rhythm once again.
Indeed. Well, we're a minute to go until we start rolling. The drivers had a bit of a break. They're fresh. Perhaps they've got to relearn a little bit of that muscle memory they had. But they're definitely breathing. They've got their hands on the wheel, stretching them. Perhaps playing with the shifters. I do that sometimes. Getting prepared, ready to go. 15, 14, 13, 12,
Remember,
11,
it's still
10,
gonna be a rolling start.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're rolling. When the server says we're rolling, but you know, rolling nonetheless.
It always surprises me that that the drivers often take some time until they can get it, get the car into gear and so on. But hey, and are we green? Oh, aren't we green? No, we're not green yet. But now
Here we go.
are
Now
green.
we're green. Green, green, green. Let's go, 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 go.
Oh, Kevin has lost his first place. A little bit of hanky-panky there.
Here we go.
So who is... Brian Cham Cham has taken over the first place
Yes,
on this
he has.
restart.
Matthew Dowdy also looks like he's dropping
no,
back.
but it looks as if they are not doing a real start. At least it looked very much as if Brian was just warming his tires.
I don't know. It looks like they're racing. We'll have to see whenever they come around.
Maybe he was using the fact that he was so far ahead. Whoa, he went a little bit out. So far ahead to get some temperature into the tire. Nah, no. He just went slower. And now Kevin Boucher is taking again. So yeah, I think they are reordering themselves and gonna go into the race at the end of this lap.
Okie doke. Good deal.
Thing is, they may have discussed it on the voice channels on Discord, because I don't see any of the like anywhere else.
All right. Well, there you have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Oh, really 5 corners. One of them is barely a corner, but 5 corners to go, and then we're going to be back to green. Well, I'm excited. This was unexpected and certainly not fun. I'm sure it wasn't all that fun for you guys as viewers to stare at a blank screen for a little bit, but we're going to be going back to racing here pretty soon. We're pulling into the pits now.
Add to the driver changes, maybe?
That's quite possible, yeah.
I wish we would have something like extra race control, so they would have the time to explain it to us.
Yeah. nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, soon enough. Let's get these group Global Enduro big enough, and they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, Ryan, I too had fun watching the paint dry.
Well, the flags were moving. At least that's something.
Wow, look at those flag animations. Somebody spent a
Yeah.
lot of time on those.
Truth to be told, somebody spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah, somebody probably. Yeah, I say that in jest. Somebody probably did spend a lot of time on those.
Do that.
Yeah, ACC is a good game. I'm glad I got it. All right.
I think it's
so we
one of the
out.
best simulations that we have in the market at the moment.
Oh, for sure. Especially if you're like, I mean, well, exclusively if you're, really into GT3 or GT4 racing. I'd love to see more things added. I want to see GTE. That's not going to happen because GTE is dying, and I'm really sad about that.
Yeah.
But I want to see GTE. I want to see some LMP1 cars. Like, introduce more series. ACC, bend to the will of just one Texan who's a fan.
And at least if they are staying with SRO, introduce also the Asian and American series.
Ooh, yeah, that would be really fun.
But they neither have the Ford Mustang nor do they have the what is it called, Ultra?
Camaro?
No. There's a Japanese model that they don't have because of licensing issues. I don't know what it is. Toyota Ultra?
Supra?
Give me a second. Give me a second because I have it. Supra, yes. Supra.
Bro, that is a Supra.
No, we don't have a Supra in the in ACC.
That's another joke I don't think you got.
Ah, okay.
I'll send you that video.
Okay. Is it a commercial or what?
No, it was a viral video.
Okay. I may have missed it because I was sim racing.
Quite possibly. Well, we are on the opposite side of the track to the start-finish. So we're about halfway through. I see the number 6 car hanging way behind Alex Ald in that... what was that car called?
Maybe he spun and
racing. On the outlap, I don't think so. I think he was just kind of hanging out behind. But he'll have time to catch up.
Man, I wish you would have told me that about the Supra while the server was down. I could have searched YouTube while we were waiting.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it is Puddle Smashers in front, Tech 1 Racing in second, Bexley Racing Team in third, and Planix Smackcam Racing. That's what it shows in my sim. Ross King is driving the number 2, Speed 12. That's what that is. It's listed differently in the sim than it is on my timer screen, but that's Speed 12 racing team. Ross King behind the wheel.
What Kevin is doing amounts to nothing. He is not gonna be able to warm the tires with this very small zigzagging. If he's not braking hard and on the throttle at the same time he's doing that, the tires are not gonna be getting quite warm. Tell you from experience. Best way to get your tires warm in Assetto Corsa Competizione is as the real racers do. to be on the brakes and on the throttle at the same time. So,
We're on
looks
the
that they are
final one.
getting into formation.
It's probably going to be a rolling start here, so we're gonna wait until they cross the line. We've got an hour, 41 minutes to go, and we are off. Green, green,
Racing.
green. Go, go, go. Let's go racing, boys and girls.
Okay, now it's gonna take them some time to warm up the tires completely, warm up the brakes completely, get into the rhythm once again.
Absolutely.
So it's very possible, and we already saw somebody going out of the track.
That was. Oh, I don't know who that was. It's one of the
No, I
Aston
was
Martin
trying to
teams.
find out.
It's either T-Total Motorsport or Bexley. The cars look
A little too much Stella, huh?
similar. Yeah, a little too much Stella. Yeah.
See, kids, that's what happens if you drink and drive. Oh my god, I've turned into an old man. All right, so we have Kevin on first place and Callum Baker on second.
Switch to
Close
Scott Mortimer. Let's take a look at
to
him.
what?
Scott Mortimer in P3. He's chasing
Scott
down
Mortimer,
Callum Baker
and
quite
I'm going
nicely.
to go into cockpit.
Absolutely, he's right behind him. Braking zone catching up real close.
Yeah, but that's now trying
Took a
to
better
overtake
line.
in Luffield can be very dangerous.
Yes, it can. That's one of those corners you just kind of have to hold it, hold it. Try to give it too much power. You go around, and it's not fun whenever you're supposed to be accelerating out to the straight.
Now this is a point where you can gain a lot if you take the corner right, but all three took it wrong. And I see Ed Bailey going into pits. Ooh, Mortimer's car getting a little bit squirrely there through Maggots and Beckett's.
Absolutely, the beneficiary of all of that has been Kevin as he gets a little bit further ahead, just a little bit. Oh, number 5 car is off. Brett Beard has gone off he has gone off at Beckett's.
Okay, he's back on track.
He is back on track. He's in P10 now as a result.
By the way, if any of you is a little bit knowledgeable and is watching the dashboard, the tires are not cold. It's just that when you are in spectator mode, it doesn't show you the dashboard, so nobody can get some information out of it. So for the drivers, everything is hunky-dory, but we don't see data like temperature of the tires, predicted lap time, or something like that. It's a feature, not a bug.
Indeed, for their eyes only.
Oh, we have yellow somewhere.
Where do we have a yellow?
I don't know. I just saw yellow, and it seems that Alt had a problem.
Looks like Alt went off. Took out a few not tires. Took out a few cones. Ooh, Ald and Anna Bowl are getting close there. That number 11 of Tom & Co Racing has not had a good day so far. They got the drive-through penalty off the start, and that sent them to the back, and they've pretty much stayed there. They've had the pace. They've gotten faster and faster and faster on everybody, But they've just had like little mistakes here and there, and not been able to make the pass where they should, and that's kept them behind. It's going to be an uphill battle for them, and they've got increasingly less time to make a move and fix things.
Going back to Scott Mortimer, as you can see on your screens, it's getting darker and darker. We're getting into the night. It's 9:30 p.m. Within the realms of the sim. So not only I don't think that the drivers are in the rhythm yet, and now it's gonna get dark, and all the braking zones are gonna be different, or you cannot see the pointer for the braking zones. Your tires are gonna get colder, so all the drivers are not yet into the rhythm, and it's getting more difficult to drive. It's gonna be interesting.
There's not too many lights here at Silverstone.
Nope.
And you know, there's some near the start finish, but for the most part, it's your headlights, and that's it.
Yeah. Misano is much better with that. There's a lot of lights in Misano on the track, or at least showing into the track, but Silverstone, no sir. So let's take a look at the other positions. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
The 11th car is slow. Anna Bowl again, Tom and Co Racing. They were slow out of goodness, what's that corner? The loop, the slow out of the loop and Aintree. Number 6 car, also Alex Ald is stopped on track. Looks like he had a spin coming into Brooklyn, or actually going out of Brooklands.
And Anna Bowl has taken over the place.
Indeed.
And now it's getting darker and darker.
It is getting darker and darker. Do you think the mistakes are going to increase as we go into the night?
I very much expected so, especially and Anna Bowl loses control and hits Odd.
Oh, that is not good for Tom and Co Racing.
Yeah. As I was saying, I expect that the issues are gonna increase because the track is getting colder, of course. The tires are gonna get colder, and therefore you lose grip. Your braking points have to be different than those from the day, and you don't see them as well as you do during the day. So if you haven't trained a lot at night, and most drivers don't, then you're really gonna start having issues because you have to set your brain in a different kind of thinking and a different kind of working.
Ed Bailey is chasing down Alex Ald for 10th place. He's right behind him, right by him.
Let's take a look at what Ed sees.
As you can see, it is dark. All he can see is what's in his headlights. No more, no less.
That's a good place to overtake, always is, but you have to brake soon in, as I was saying, you have to brake soon enough, or you lose, you go too far out and risk losing control of your car, which is what happened to Ed here.
Indeed, if his brakes were a little bit stronger, or if he had braked just a little bit earlier, he might have been able to make that move. But right now, he's at the end of the straight, into the braking zone. He's a little bit more cautious this time around, but he's got that inside line.
Yeah,
and
but careful, because and Odd has lost control.
Absolutely. Ed Bailey takes the advantage and takes P10. Also, we have a battle between Ross King and Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor is fighting to hold on to 6th place, and Ross King is doing his very, very best to take that McLaren and pass him with it.
And this is a good place inside of Silverstone to gain some time, as they are not easy corners, and if you get them the right way, you can gain a couple of tenths of a second, and that, when you're chasing somebody, is can mean a lot.
The Tom and Co
Going to
race
Lufkin.
that we just saw with Anna Boll has gone into the pits. They've dropped down into 12th place, behind Alex Alt and Ed Bailey in 11th and 10th, respectively.
It seems as if Taylor is gaining a little bit of breathing space, but we're getting into...
Oh, he runs quite wide, and Ross King also follows, running quite wide out of there.
That's very typical when you're racing. Monkey see, monkey do. That happens to me all too often. And Maggots, Beckett's. Oh, and Taylor has gone off.
Cuts that corner.
So let's see what the sim says. The sim is very, very forgiving when you go off track. So it seems it's not slowing him down.
Yeah, ACC, more than several other sims, gets the closest to the NASCAR rule of track limits. You know what the NASCAR rule of track limits is?
No, but you're gonna tell me.
Yes, absolutely. If it's paved, it's fair game.
Truth to be told, SRO is very forgiving with track limits. So you can really, as long as you are kinda on the track, on the curb, it's accepted. So one place where you can see it very well is if you drive through Misano. You're gonna see that it's that you can cut a lot of corners. So while these two, Taylor and King, are fighting, Meisner is seeing an opportunity and coming nearer all the time.
Absolutely. Their battle may be slowing them down a bit, and Meisner may be working to take advantage of that. Also, interestingly, James Ronan is challenging Marco Wouters for P4. That's the Wouters is piloting the number 9 McLaren 720S GT3 of the Drexton Reapers, and James Ronan in the number 10 car is with Jolly Holly Racing.
And
Jolly
in a
Holly
Bentley.
Yes, and in the Bentley. Jolly Holly Racing had dropped back a little bit, and they have now gained some positions with the restart, and they're fighting for 4th.
And quite well. I mean, the Bentley is not an easy car to drive. It's a big car. It's got the motor, of course, and of course, as always with SRO. Wouters went wide.
He gets back on before we go into the grass, though, so that saves him some time.
What did I want to say? Oh yeah, all these cars have a balance of performance, so they are quite near, but still the driving characteristics of the Bentley are very special, so you have to love how it drives and you have to know how to drive it.
Indeed. Brett Beard has gone off. It looks like they've made looks like Tom and Co Racing is behind him. They're a lap down because they pitted for damage, but they also did their driver change. Annabelle is out and David Marshall is in the number 11 car for Tom and Co Racing.
So let's take a look at what Kevin is doing at the front. He can do his own pace. He can do whatever he wants. It's
Yeah, he's got a healthy lead. A
Yep.
good.
Look at that.
7 seconds ahead of P2, the number 7 car of Callum Baker. Callum Baker is driving for Team Falcon UK in the lone Lexus RCF GT3. I do love that car. That is such a fun car. They race in IMSA. They're fun to see in IMSA, and they don't feel like they should be a GT3 car. You know, they've got sort of the Lexus has a similar like brand feel to it here in America as like Acura and perhaps BMW. You know,
Well,
it doesn't feel like it should be.
remember that Lexus is the special brand of Toyota, while Acura is the special brand of, if I remember correctly, Nissan. Honda, exactly. Thank you. So yeah, and BMW is the special brand of. Wait a minute. Bentley is the special brand of BMW.
Yeah, there you go. So I see you're also in the Porsches or just fast Volkswagens, huh?
Well, yes. Oh, Baker went white, and Mortimer used the opportunity, but could not land the pass.
But with that mistake, they're very, very close now.
Yeah, have a second if I see it correctly.
Mortimer is going to get closer and closer and closer. And then as they get out of this corner, it's going to get wider and wider and wider, that gap. Average Matt, if you're on the stream but you're not in the Discord, Average Matt has posted a picture of his supply of Stella Artois, and it is sizable. And it says, oh, "Don't overlook hydration, everyone."
Wise words. But on the other hand, if you've ever done diving, you should not drink alcohol because it dehydrates you.
I will say he's probably having the most fun.
If not, he's doing something wrong. Because as much as I say don't drink and drive, hey, enjoy a beer, wine, a whiskey, whatever.
While sim racing, specifically.
No, why not? And you can do that specially every Thursday on our Wreckfest Wreck Day. And Baker went off.
Oh, they are side by side. Mortimer's trying to make a move. He's got the speed. He's got the speed.
And
he does
he's,
it. He does it. He makes the position.
He landed it. Absolutely.
Absolutely textbook. Taking advantage of a mistake.
Yeah, well, that's why you drive as near as possible, but not near enough to get taken out by a mistake, and then use it.
Definitely. They're coming up on some lap down cars too. There's the number 6 and the number 11 car up ahead of him, of Alex Ald and David Marshall, respectively. Oh, Callum Baker has gone into the pits. Callum Baker, who was the one who lost out on that previous exchange, he's gone into the pits. It'll be interesting to see if they do a driver change, or if this is a quick damage repair, or see what they're gonna do.
I mean, what could be is that the tire went off. If you don't have the right pressure and you run over a curb, your tire can explode. It's not something that Assetto Corsa Competizione lets it happen easily, but it can happen.
Indeed. I see James Ronan challenging Marco Wouters. They're quite close. Getting a little bit closer with these braking zones. Each one getting that chicane right is tricky
Oh,
thing to
yeah.
do.
That's one where you either spin because somebody punts you, or you spin because you did not brake correctly. That's very easy to do right there.
Absolutely, and then there's a tricky corner and a long straight afterwards, so it really makes getting that chicane right. And we can see that the result of that is that they're about the same, because they both took different lines through it, but both correct lines. They're not quite to the point of battling yet, but it looks like Ronan's trying to catch Wooters, and Wooters is just ahead, just keeping that edge on him. But Ronan will be better in one spot on the track. The Wooters will be better in one spot on the track. It's very, very interesting to watch that game of cat and mouse that they're
And
playing.
I don't know which kind of a driver Wooters is, but it's very possible that he gets a little bit nervous, adrenaline rushing.
Marco Wooters has listed himself as slower but steady. And considering that he's in third place, right? Whoa, Ronan spins.
Yeah,
He's
bother,
off
he
into the
just...
grass.
Yeah, what a pity. That was such a nice chase.
Just pushed a little bit too
Yeah,
hard to try to
it
get to him
happens.
in time. There's an hour and 20 minutes left. You don't need to push so hard.
Let's see if we see that again. That's a replay, what we're seeing right now.
Just so that we're aware, Matthew Dowdy has taken over in that number 17 Falcon Lexus that pitted in. And he is the driver of that team that has listed himself as fast. And so it'll be interesting to see, you know, because they pitted in when, like, on a green flag and when nobody else had. And so they're back good ways from where they were, down in 10th position.
And
So
there
we'll
we
see
have
if
it,
that
where Ronan...
fastness kicks in.
it was in Beckett's where Ronan lost the... Oh, well.
Pardon me.
Whoops. Oh, don't tell me that the server went down again.
The server is fine for me, actually.
Okay.
Scott Mortimer is in second place, chasing Kevin Booter still. Marco Wooters is in third place, and James Ronan is behind him. Jack Taylor is fighting through back markers right now, but he's in fifth place, looking to get to James Ronan. And then we have Ross King in sixth place. And that is your top half.
Okay, no.
I see the number 11 car, David Marshall, again with the Tom & Co Racing team car, not having the best of days. They went off at, oh goodness, where is that? That was Beckett's and Chapel. They went off round about the midpoint of those two corners. Also, again, David Marshall off.
Oh, bother.
So
They're
it looks
not
like,
really having a good day.
Yeah, Tom & Co Racing definitely not had a good day, and it's not gotten better into the night. A lot of it has been just simple mistakes of not slowing down in time or you know, going into the grass where you shouldn't. I think that might come down to the fact that it is night. You can't see the track as well.
Yeah. At the moment, all kind of settling down into their positions, all quite distant from each other.
10 car James Ronan went off. He's in 4th place. So that is significant. He was in 4th place. No, he's still in 4th place. If it's changed, it hasn't updated on my screen.
I think Ronan lost the rhythm with that time that he went off.
Okay,
and
I see him. Yeah, James Ronan, in the number 10 car, is down into P6.
yeah.
Number 11 car still having some issues. Gone off in a few more places. Let's see.
So I'm going through the drivers. Number 1, Kevin Bowter. Number 2, Scott Mortimer. 10th, Brett Beard. 11th, Alex Ott. And 12th, David Marshall. It's 1 a.m. So not yet the deepest of the night, but deep enough. We can show you what the drivers see, and that's not much. So as you can see,
Of who retired, and his teammate or teammates is going to have to cover for him. That may have been Kevin Butcher's teammate, which would be, if I look on my list, oh yes, our favorite Nipply folk, Nick Nipples. I think that might be him. So it looks like Kevin Butcher may be taking this to the finish line. Is it Neek or is it Nyack? I do not know how to pronounce that name.
I would say Neek, but
Neek? I must confess, I don't see many Neeks or Nyaks in Texas or Oklahoma, so I don't have a lot of experience with that name.
I would say it's Neek.
Neek? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with Neek until I'm corrected by somebody who knows.
So Jess, you see, like 7 and 8 are quite near to each other, but those are the numbers of the cars, not the positions.
Yes, it looks like 8 is well, number 8 is in first place, and it looks like number 7 is a lap down. That is Matthew Dowdy, who is a lap down, Team Falcon UK, and of course Kevin Butcher in the number 8 car, who's going to have a long drive ahead of him, having started the race and perhaps having to finish the race without a driver change, is leading the race in the Puddle Smashers McLaren 720S GT3. Interestingly enough, he did, I may have noted this before, but it's worth noting again, he listed himself, Mr. Kevin Butcher did, listed himself as slower but steady. But he knows Silverstone fairly well, as he says. And so that knowledge is clearly paying off if he's slower but steady. Because right now, he's your leader.
Yeah, Taylor and Ott going into pits.
Indeed. BMW GT3 car.
It's a pity that Assetto Corsa Competizione doesn't show you the animation of the pit team. I mean, it shows it to you if you are in the car, but not if you are spectating. So maybe if I go into cockpit, no, we don't see the team. Oh well. Jack Taylor is getting out.
Conspiracy theory, they didn't model their backs.
Oh, Taylor is getting a blue flag and should give space. And now he does, or not? He should. Yeah, exactly.
Is that Taylor in the car? Because
Well,
on our,
I
I think
don't
that's
know
Matt
exactly.
Atkins in the car
Yeah,
now.
true that.
That of course is for team. He says as he looks at his spreadsheet, T Total Motorsport. Matt Atkins and Jack Taylor in the Aston Martin. Racing through the night. We've got the helicopter view up above. That's a really, really fun view because you get to see them take their lines, you know, go right to left as what they're seeing comes into view and goes out of view very, very quickly.
Yeah, when I'm analyzing what I did wrong in a race, I often enough go into helicopter view.
It's very
And
good for an analytical perspective.
by the way, there is also a free camera that you can use if you want to check what you did wrong, or where you went wrong, or how near you were to an opponent, and so on. But seems as if they've all found their rhythm and are um are quite away from each other at the moment.
Indeed. Oh, second place, Scott Mortimer is coming into the pits. That's the number 3 car of Bexley Racing Team. He's coming in. That may be a driver change, and if so, that is Chris Stewart, who will be coming in to replace him. But that is your second place car coming into the pits.
Wouters
and it looks
is
like,
far enough, so
yeah, Walters is also coming in.
yeah.
Yeah, he's also pitting in. So, looks like he probably will have enough space. Mortimer will probably have enough space in the time there to get
Ronan
out.
also coming into pits.
Yes, 5th place, James Ronan in the number 10 car, also coming into the pits. This is for Jolly Holly Racing. And then Ross King in 4th place, out of all of those, has elected to stay out this lap. He is staying out this lap. And so he'll have to make it around a lap in order to pass them. But, oh wait, never mind. My timing screen just updated. It was on a delay. And yeah, Ross King did take advantage of those folks in front of him, and he went from 5th place to 2nd place. Mortimer is now been replaced by Seward, and Seward is out in P3. Kevin Booter is coming into the pits. Your leader, Kevin Booter, is coming in for Puddle Smashers.
Oh, and Ronan got a drive-through penalty.
Oh, that would be John Smith, who's taken over for Ronan, with, let's see, Ronan. Jolly Holly Racing.
And in case you're wondering why I am not changing the camera, my mouse and my my keyboard don't work, but the computer has not frozen. As you can see, the sim still going on, and the stream seems to be alive and healthy. So today is a day of very strange issues.
Indeed, Ross King has pitted in. He is now in the pit lane. So all of your leaders have pitted in. Ed Bailey is now in 3rd. He will also need to take his uh, his pit stop fairly soon, I would assume. But for now, he's chilling in 3rd place. For what it's worth, Brett Beard is also into the pits with Challenge Racing.
Whoa, and Smith also got a drive-through. Ay, ay, ay.
Meissner, it looks like also has also gotten a drive-through penalty. He is only
And now my system
just now gotten to his pit box. Well, thankfully it is local to CERTA, and the rest of the server is still going on, despite what you may be seeing. Oh, okay, we still see your
yeah. It's only that I cannot change anything because neither mouse nor keyboard want to react. I don't know what's happening.
Well, we will be on board with Wooters for until CERTA can get his. Meissner received a stop and go for 30 seconds penalty. That's going to be pretty heavy there. He's also, after that pit, he's now dropped down into 8th place. So that is a big, big ouch for Meissner and the number 12 Thompson twins team car. Your new leader is Mr. Nipples, our friend Neek Nipples. He has taken over for Kevin Butcher for the Puddle Smashers car. So that car is back out in front again. Ed Bailey, who has not pitted in, is sitting in 2nd place. Chris Seward is in 3rd. Marco Wooters is in 4th. Matthew Dowdy is in 5th. That Lexus that we saw earlier, that we saw come into the pits after a bit of an altercation. And then he dropped way down in the ranks. He is now up to 5th. Trying to lap David Marshall. Who again with the Tom & Co Racing team has not had the best of days, and Marshall goes way off into the gravel trap. Thankfully that gravel trap is there, or else that would have been race over for him. John Smith with the Bentley car has come into the pits. That is the number 10 of Jolly Holly Racing. They have now pitted in. Nipples is looking to lap the number 6 car of Tom Prangley. That number 6 car is Keith Racing. They're in the, I believe, lone BMW. And around he goes, nice and easy.
And I got control at least of the mouse. I don't know. Today is one of these days, right?
Absolutely. This has certainly been a race marked by technical difficulties, both in the commentary box and the server itself. We did, if you're just tuning in now, we did have a red flag incident where the server had to be restarted. But we have restarted, we are back, and we are at 3:19 in the morning. We're on accelerated time. So across the 1 hour and 40 minutes or so that we have of the race, we go through a full 24-hour daylight cycle. And this includes temperature, the sun in your eyes in the morning, all of that.
While Ed Bailey's going into pits, Mike Meissner or whoever is in the car is going out. Getting a stop and go or serving a stop and go?
I'm going to guess serving a stop and go, because that was there before.
But now Meissner stopped off track.
Meissner is stopped off track. That's
Whoops.
true.
And Page...
Meissner is back in, like, Meissner is like retired to the pits. Like
That's strange.
escaped. Yeah. So that off may have been heavier than we thought it was. Ed Bailey has been replaced by Mr. Chaviteau for the Global Enduro Aston Martin. And they are out and settled into 5th place after that. That's not a bad result for them, or not a bad position for them. We've still got an hour until the results. Oh boy, got a Bentley chasing up on Chaviteau, looking for a pass.
Well, the thing is, of course, Chaviteau has to give the place because he's no, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's not a blue flag. Right. Let's see how it looks from inside.
Chaviteau getting into the car, getting used to the adjustment, right? I don't believe Chaviteau has been in for...
I think the intelligent thing would be to leave, to let Smith overtake, because...
Yeah, Smith was being very aggressive there, and Chaviteau's still getting used to the car.
And in such a situation, you lose more time than you gain.
Absolutely, and especially if they changed tires, then Chaviteau is going to be on cold tires, while Smith, doing his flying lap, is going to be on much warmer, perhaps older but warmer tires. So it looks like that was the right call, as Smith is pulling ahead of Chaviteau. That just wouldn't have been a competition. Mr. Nipples is still in front. Nick, I think it's actually probably pronounced Knipples, but he did say in the form that was filled out on registration for this race that he does prefer for us to pronounce it Nipples. So we're gonna stick with that. So Mr. Nipples is in the front. Marco Wooters is in second. Matthew Dowdy in third, and those are your top 3. And Dowdy is right behind Wooters. We're starting to see daylight just creep in as things get lighter and lighter. But yeah, Dowdy is chasing down Wooters, getting a little bit closer, throwing some sparks. And coming into this braking zone, Dowdy is getting very, very close on the approach. Wooters is going to be looking in his mirror, trying to figure out how he can hold Dowdy off. We've got an hour left to go, but you don't want to give up a position if you don't have to. The last lap, Matthew Dowdy got a 2-minute 1.878 seconds. Marco Wooters got a 2-minute 2.514 seconds lap. So Dowdy currently has the pace. He's just got to get it done. And it's Wooters' responsibility to make sure that he can't do that. Either way, puddle smashers with Nipples and Kevin Butcher are going to win out on that, because he's way ahead. Way ahead at this point. Not over a lap ahead, but half a lap ahead for sure. This is a good battle to watch. If you would, if you are able to, I know you're working through some.
Well, at least I regained control of my mouse, so I can change the cameras at least.
Okay, can we take a look at Dowdy and Wooters and their battle?
Yeah,
it's really shaping up, getting close. Number 5 car is off. Ben Page, just to let you know. They've gone off. They've teleported into the pits. And it looks like that's that done. Dowdy and Wooters are just about side by side. They're tied. They're right alongside each other. Dowdy taking the outside line, going a little conservative
but
there.
okay.
Wooters keeps his position.
Like sometimes, even if your opponent does makes an error, it may not be a good thing to take him on that, but he makes again an error.
Oh,
Yes, I
no!
was seeing that coming, and yeah,
Oh,
he's off in
no.
Luffield. He should let him pass because he punted him.
I don't know. Wooters was just about as far to the inside as he could. I think that might just be marked up to a racing incident, but we'll have to let the stewards make that decision finally. Don't want to get ahead of them on that. But Dowdy back to square one, chasing Wooters.
And yeah, it's getting
Welcome back to daytime.
brighter and brighter. And this is an interesting chase.
Dowdy's going for it. Wooters, it seems to let him pass. Wooters
Yeah.
let him stay down.
It's very possible that on voice chat, Wooters just said, "Okay, pass here."
Okay.
I've done that also. Like, especially if you're not racing to, I don't know, win $500 or whatever, and you're just racing like that for fun and for the sake of it. You let somebody know, okay, I'm gonna pass you now to the right, I'm gonna pass you to the left, or I'm gonna let you pass in the next straight or whatever.
Well, now that that has been resorted, Drexton Reaper's car in McLaren 720S, he wants that position back. He's going to chase him down. He wants to get that position back fair and square. But certainly going
As
to
we all
keep
would.
on pushing, as we all would.
But I think Dowdy's getting away. From the looks of it.
Yeah. We'll have to see on this braking zone. Let's see how it goes. This is a tricky corner because you go halfway into it. You're like on half throttle. You can't accelerate. You wait forever, and then you punch it. Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Onto this long straight here. I love this corner. It's my
Although
favorite.
I tend on Luffield, I tend to play a little bit with the throttle. And Dowdy's losing control.
Oh, Dowdy spins.
Bother.
Wooter takes the advantage there. Wooters is now second position. Dowdy has spun. He is trying to get back on track. Get off of there. There we go. There we go.
That's the right. But he's losing. I think he lost 2 positions. I think what he was trying to do, he was trying so hard to get away from Wouters that he pushed a little bit too hard. Absolutely. It happens, but it's of course not what you should be doing. But
indeed, now Dowdy's chasing down Stewart, trying to get that position back. Woo! Getting the draft and then pulling out ahead. It looks like it's not going to be too much of a competition. Yep. Chris Stewart breaks early, gives him the position. Dowdy takes it. On to fight another day.
And now, of course, it's trying to get back to Wooters, but it's gonna be more difficult now.
Certainly. All of that time compiles, adds up.
Yeah, one thing that I took a long time to learn, and I hope I've learned it, it's better to be consistent than to be looking, oh, is he gonna overtake me? I have to get away from him or whatever. It's just keep your rhythm until you're really a pro, and who of us is, keep just on your rhythm.
And sometimes you can do everything right, and you can you know, race clean and stay clean, but you also have to worry and make the judgment of, is the guy that I'm racing against, the guy that I'm trying to pass, the guy who's trying to pass me, are they going to be just as clean? Are they going to stay in their lane while I'm trying to pass them?
Yeah.
And you have to make that judgment, because if you go for it and they go in, well, it might be their fault, but you know, if you let yourself get into that position and they knock you out, well, you're still out of the race. It may not be your fault, but you're still out of the race. So you have to make those tactical calls of, do I want to take the risk?
And now Seward is being chased by King.
Seward is being chased by King. Ross King has done, his last lap was a 2 minute and 2. Chris Stewart's was a 2 minute and 6. So King is definitely on a tear. Trying to approach.
That was too close for comfort.
Absolutely. Again, on those judgment calls. King looking to the inside to make a move, deciding not to, and then perhaps that gets ahead of him on this long straight.
That's so typical. Seward goes out, King goes out with him, and Smith, who is at the back of those two, also goes out because I don't know.
The cockpit cam. I want to show something.
To the what?
Cockpit cam. Because right now we're at that magical moment where, for
you
a
don't
good
see
portion
Diddley.
of the lap, the sun is in your eyes.
Yeah.
And our eyes are really, really good at tricking us into actually being hurt by that. Stewart goes into the grass a little bit. Smith is alongside Ross King. John Smith makes the pass on Ross King. And Smith makes the pass on Stewart. Smith with a double pass at the end of that straight.
Yeah, that's a bad place to go 3 wide.
That's a bad place to go 3 wide, but he took that gamble and it worked out for him. Wow. So Smith is now, I believe, in 4th place here. And that was quite a ballsy move.
And we can see how the sun is really a distraction here.
Absolutely, yeah. You see this. Imagine you have a breaking point you still have to make while the sun's in your eyes, while it's burning into your retinas, and oh boy, that's a tricky thing. That's a tricky thing right there.
And truth to be told, when you're on VR, you're trying to move your head around so that you can avoid the sun, which you normally can't because it's shining directly into you. But you still, like in a real life car, you would try to move your head and so on. You do exactly the same when you're on VR.
Indeed, and looks like King's still pursuing Stewart. Perhaps. Ooh, that was a good corner there. The corner exit was a little bit less powerful. Stewart, a bit of oversteer on the exit, but still carrying more speed. Stewart takes the advantage of accelerating out of that corner.
And out of the straight into the sun, oof, you hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And here, it's so important to get the braking point right in this corner. Nicely done.
Jack Taylor asks, anyone know what happened? We pitted in 4th on the lead lap and came out in 10th, and now we are 2 laps down. Let's see. Jack Taylor is on the team of... he's on T-Total Motorsport. So in the car right now is Matt Adkins. Do we have any update on what may have happened to Matt Adkins and why they might be a lap down? Or 2 laps down?
No idea, mate. We'll have to watch the replays.
Indeed. I think one of the issues that you may be facing is perhaps a underestimation of the time that we're in the pits, because not only is there like the time that you spend in the pits, but there's also the in lap, the out lap, all that. Ooh boy! Speaking of Adkins, he slides it out of that corner. Gonna lose some time there. But yeah, the time that you spend in the pits, especially on full green flag, that will set you back a good ways, and then you just have to work your way back up through and hope your pit strategy worked out well compared to the others.
And it looks as if King overtook Smith.
Let's see, King. It does look like King overtook Smith. Yes, it does.
Change to Helicam.
Smith, a little bit of oversteer out of that corner, so it looks like King is going to lock that in for now. But yeah, Stewart, Smith, and Ross King is definitely a competition to look at.
Yeah, but Smith doesn't give up.
No. Smith is right on the inside of King.
Yeah.
They're alongside. The battle is close. It is so close. Smith lets King live another day, but he's right on his tail. And this is a big, long straightaway. Smith off into the grass. Can that big engine of the Bentley make it? Ooh, he's going
No, that's not. Ooh, that's not the best place to do such a battle. But
Nope.
on the other hand, we've been here before.
The winner of this is Stewart, who's going to get the pass on Smith.
Okay.
We're alongside. Wow, this is a good competition right here.
And we're seeing the battle for 4th place, by the way.
This is the battle. This is a 3-way battle for 4th place.
Yeah.
Looks like Stewart backs off a little bit. Smith's coming in to challenge King yet again. But better in the corners is the McLaren. The battle of the Brits of all of these, with the Bentley, the McLaren, and the Aston Martin. Very nationalistic competition between these three drivers.
A Brit battle on the British Silverstone.
Absolutely. It's a great sunny day now. We've come out of the night here at Silverstone.
Oh!
Ooh,
Don't!
Smith has got it. He's got it.
No, I'm not sure yet.
Oh, I didn't say he has it permanently, but right now he does.
Yeah, true that. And he took the sausage and then went a little bit out. And of course,
Quentin Chavito is also coming up, so
exactly.
This might be a 4-way battle.
Exactly. Because when you start fighting for position, you are going to lose time. So that's why you want to overtake and get out of there. Because if it's going to become a battle, the ones behind you are gonna be eating time.
Absolutely, that's been the advantage of the Drexton Reapers and especially of Puddle Smashers. Both of those teams have been pretty much in clean air for a good portion of this race, with not a lot of challenge between them. And so they're both able to just nail their lap times, get their entrances, get their exits, and make sure that their braking points are good. And they've been, as a matter of fact, Puddle Smasher's car has a 1 minute 59.397 to its name, which is our only sub 2-minute lap time this race.
Yeah. And he's coming into this fight because he's like not very far behind Chavito.
Absolutely, Chavito is coming in to challenge Stewart as well. And Stewart's off in the grass a little bit.
Again?
In and out. Just gently. Stewart still has the lead. Chavito's coming in on the inside. Chavito gets the pass. Very, very close pass, but a pass nonetheless. So
and
Chavito
Stewart is getting a blue flag, of course. But that was a good pass.
Ross King is still pursuing Smith, but it looks like Smith has established a rhythm, gotten out ahead, and again, entrances and exits.
Luckily, all these guys are letting Nipples pass through, which is a good thing because, of course, when you're battling for position, the last thing that you want is to see blue flags and have somebody on your neck saying, hey, 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 I got the right of way, which is true, but still, you're thinking about completely other things at that moment.
Right, exactly. Especially with these guys in the battle, they kind of have to pause it and let the lead cars through. Right now we have Nipples and Wooters, as I believe two of well, let's see, because they just passed. Yeah, Nipples just passed Shavito. So Ross King, John Smith, Wooters, and Nipples. That's fourth through first. Those are your only cars on the lead lap right now.
Not for longer.
Yep, as Nipples continues the dominance. That's a weird sentence. But he's doing it, and Nipples seems to be pursuing the number 2 car of Ross King. He'll come around to lap him shortly, barring any mistakes.
Interestingly enough, I don't know if it's because of Nipples or because of the way these drivers drive, but now the space between Smith, King, Shavito, and Seward has become greater, like about 3 seconds from each other, 3 to 4 seconds.
Indeed.
And Nipples were taking King. And Shavito getting nearer to King.
Yep, there it is. Fewer and fewer cars on the lead lap here as Nipples pursues them.
This is what Mr. Shavito sees, and he sees King near enough. All three on Lothield now.
Indeed. Nipples in the pits.
Yeah.
Also, John Smith in the pits as well. Right in front of him. So your leader is in the pits. Marco Wooters is on the opposite side of the track. And so if Nipples can get out before Wooters gets in, or if Nipples gets out before Wooters can get past the start-finish straight, then he may have a chance of keeping the lead. If Wooters comes in, that won't be as much of an issue.
And remember that Nipples and Wooters still have to do one pit. Nipples is doing it now, and Wooters may very well do it right away. And Shavito is trying to overtake King. Let's watch this from a camera.
Looks like he's going to do it. Nicely and cleanly. That was a good spot to do that. Nipples is out. Wooters is not yet to the start-finish straight. So looks like Nipples and his built-up lead has pitted and exited the pits entirely in first place without any change at all. So we're seeing a dominant run from Nipples this time around.
Yeah. So, if we check who has done...
Wooters has pitted in. Wooters has pitted in.
Yeah, of course. Of course, was to be expected. I suppose this is going... Yeah, this is pretty much going to be the last pit stop that these drivers do. So we have Nipples, Baker, Cham Cham, and Tom Hands having done all the pit stops. Let's see how Baker does.
Has Seward, King, and King, who's running very wide, Nipples, King, and Shavito, have they done their pit stops yet?
Nope. They still need to do one more pit stop.
I see.
Bother this camera.
So the Bentley, our lone Bentley Continental GT3 of Jolly Holly Racing, we now have Brian Cham Cham behind the wheel of that car. He's on his outlap. And he has dropped down from 3rd to 7th position. As a result, we see Tom Price.
But let's not forget Shavito, King, Seward have not done their pit stop yet, so that may still change again.
Oh, absolutely.
No, it may not, because Cham Cham loses a little bit of control, but he's able to regain control of the car.
Indeed.
Ooh, that was close.
So Shavito, King, and Seward, again, having not done their pit stops, but they are in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all behind the Puddle Smashers car. It looks like Callum Baker has all of his stops done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Callum Baker, having had all of his stops done, is behind Booter, Seward, King, Shavito, who have not, and Nipples, who has. So that will be exciting to see where he lands once they have done their pit stops, because currently he's hovering in 6th, but he is not far behind the others.
Just checking. Yeah, still, I don't think Callum Baker is gonna make podium.
It could be interesting to see. He's definitely one to watch because he's positioned well. Speaking of positioned well, one person is not positioned well, is the number 6 car. The number 6 car of Keith Racing went off over in Beckett's, which has claimed a lot of drivers so far. So Beckett's is an interesting corner because you jog a little bit left, a hard right, a little bit left on a larger sweeping corner, and then a very sharp, very long right-hander that's tighter than you think it is. And so a lot of drivers, well, they don't think it's as tight as it is, and they go off there.
And you're also thinking, okay, should I stay on 3rd? Should I go on 2nd? What am I supposed to do here? Am I fast enough or not? You have to know your car quite well to know how to take those 2 corners.
Absolutely.
Okay, Shavito, King, and Seward are taking their sweet time to go into pits. Interesting.
Absolutely. There's 32 minutes left in this race. 140 minutes down to 32.
Whoops, King going a little bit off.
The number 4 car of Teetotal Motorsport with Jack Taylor behind the wheel, currently in the driver channel chat, they're lamenting the fact that they were in 4th place when they came into the pits, and when they came out of the pits, they're now hovering in 8th place, and are pretty far away from Cham Cham, who's now going around the final corner before the pit straight. And they are hovering around Village and the Loop right now. So they are not very happy with the driver swap and how long that took.
Yeah, we'll have to check the replay and see what happened there. It may very well be a bug. It wouldn't be the first bug that happens with driver swap. If you're unlucky and you do a driver swap, it can very much be that you are driving the car, but the camera is completely showing you even a different car sometimes. And you have to cycle through the cameras in the sim to regain a view of your car, which is very unlucky, especially if you're leaving pits.
Indeed. We have Shabito, King, Seward, and Booter as our P2 through 5 cars, and none of them have come into the pits for their final stop yet. They're all trying to race each other for that. King has gotten closer to Shabito, and Seward is still a little bit further behind. Booter, who was closer, has dropped way back compared to them. Seward is coming in now. He is coming into the pits. He is the first of that group to make his final pit stop. And I believe this comes with a driver change.
I would very much expect so, yes.
Mm-hmm. So as Seward goes out, that will be Scott Mortimer, who will be coming in for the Bexley Racing Team Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Let's see. We see in 8th place Jack Taylor, understeering around a corner, but overall maintaining a fairly decent pace. His last lap, I believe, was an out lap, 3:14, so that's not so good, but it's an out lap. And then his best lap has been a 2:02.133. But yes, Jack Taylor we are seeing in 8th place. Chris Stewart still in the pits, going to be replaced any time now by his teammate Scott Mortimer. Yep, we have Mortimer back in the car, and he is back out on track, taking his out lap.
And Baker is now on 5th position.
Baker is now on 5th position. So Stewart is done on his. Baker is done on his. Brian Cham, I think they have, because I think there was a driver change there. Quentin Shavito and Ross King, both 2nd and 3rd, both are pitting in at the same time. Shavito in the number 1 car, and Ross King in the number 2 car of Speed 12 Racing. Shavito is for Global Enduro. So that will be Ed Bailey back in the car to finish the race, we believe. And then Ross King will be, who's just now gotten to his pit box. Ross King will be replaced by Timbo. And Mr. Nipples comes around to lap them yet again. Actually, I think... No, he's lapping them yet again. So, yes. Nipples has lapped everybody twice now? Is that right?
No, I would say only once, because remember that he went into pits and then they regained their lap. Oh, Shavito has a stop and go of 30 seconds.
Oof.
Oh, bother.
Oh, man, that's Ed Bailey, who's just earned that, who's taken over for Shavito.
Oh, bother.
That is going to be unfortunate because, as a reminder, they were just in 2nd place and they have dropped down into 5th with their driver change. So that's their real position, right? We have Michael Booter, who has not taken his stop yet, but we could predict that Ed Bailey is in 4th place effectively, because Booter is still to make his pit stop.
And I was wrong. Baker has taken third position, and with 26 minutes on the clock, resting, all other than Thompson having done the pit stop, and Thompson doesn't matter to Baker at the moment. It's quite sure that he's gonna keep position.
Indeed. Michael Buter, number 9 car, Drexton Racing, I don't believe... perhaps you could update me on this. Have they made their final pit stop?
As far as I can see, yes, they have.
They have. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is your final past the final pit stop ranking so far. We have Nipples, number 8 car of Puddle Smashers. Buter, the number 9 car of the Drexton Reapers. Callan Baker in P3 with the number 7 car.
Baker chasing Buter, by the way.
Yes, for Team Falcon UK. Brian Cham in the lone Bentley Continental GT3 of Jolly Holly Racing. Ed Bailey, who is now coming in to serve his 30-second stop and go, which is going to hurt. And I think Ross King is going to take the advantage on that. Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
just about to pass him. But Ed Bailey will be dropping down into 6th or worse as Ross King takes over and is going to be our new 5th place car. He's in the number 2 car for Speed 12 in the McLaren 720S GT3. I think Timbo is King, so we're gonna call him. Oh wait, no, it's still Rossman. Has Ross King not made Speed 12? Have they not made their final pit stop yet?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. The only ones that are still needing to do their pit stop are the number 12 Thompson.
I see.
So everyone else has done their pit stops. Everything is already done. Baker leaving place for Nipples. We saw at the back of the image, leaving place for Nipples, and then of course retaking the chase of Bouter. I don't think that Baker is gonna be content with the third place. I pretty much expect him to put pressure on Bouter.
I think that's a fairly safe bet. 7 car that we're... Well, let's see, we're on board with the 2nd place car, the number 9 car of Bouter.
Not anymore. I just changed to Baker just seconds before you said it. Sorry, mate.
Okay, noted. All right, so we're on board with Baker. His best lap was a 2-minute 0.570. So I don't know if that was with Baker behind the wheel, but that was for this car. Baker's last lap was a 2-minute 3.165. Buter, who's in 2nd place, his was a 2-minute 1.002. So it was a good 2 seconds faster than Callum Baker.
Yeah, but remember that Baker was making space for Nipples.
Yes, that is true. So that might be it. Nipples' last lap was a 1-minute 59.370. So he is speeding along. Absolutely untouchable right now.
By the way, we are going to see...
He's about to lap
Go
him.
ahead.
Nipples is actually the car behind Michael Bouter.
Yep. We're gonna be seeing quite good times. First of all, because the cars are lighter now. They've consumed most of their fuel. And second, because the track has a lot of grip now, that it's got all the rubber from the last what was it, 1.5 hours. So therefore the cars have more grip and are lighter. That means they do faster times.
Absolutely. So Nipples' last lap, 1-minute 59.640. He is consistently kicking butt.
Yeah.
Brian Cham, it's worth noting, his last lap, He's about to come across the line again. This lap was a second slower than the one I was recording on, but his last lap was a 2 minute 0 flat. Exactly 2 minute 0.00 or something. And his last lap was a 2 minute 1.257. So he's going to be chasing Callum Baker. And hopefully in these next 20 minutes for him, he'll catch up and we'll see a nice battle.
And Nipples is about to lap Bouter.
Yes, he is. No rush, Nipples.
No, why?
Definitely take a safe and small probability of absolutely binning it and ruining the race.
And just to be precise, we see the first lapping the second. So
Yep, this is notable. Bowder just got blue flagged. I've seen a blue flag from one of the marshals. But again, it's up to Nipples to catch him. Because Bowder doesn't have to let out of the throttle per se, unless it goes for over a lap or so. But Nipples does have to catch him and pass him. It looks like might be a good spot to do it up here. Whoa! Nipples gets a little loose. Okay, he's back in. But man, that probably scared Nipples a little bit. And you know that with Puddle Smashers, his teammate Kevin Butcher is going to be looking on. I think Kevin and Michael may be related. I'm pretty sure they
could be. I wanted to ask, but had other things. And now Nipples says, "Oh,
Nipples is off."
Yeah.
But it looks like he saves it. It's not for position, so I don't think they're gonna dock him for cutting the corner there.
Yeah,
But Nipples saves it and makes the pass. I'm not gonna call that clean, but there was no contact.
Yeah. And now the interesting thing will be to see how the fight between Bouter, Baker, and Cham Cham develops.
Absolutely, that big battle for second. So it looks like first place for most of them, save a massive incident by Kevin Nipples, is out of the question. And so second place is the new first for them.
Yeah. And if I'd been Nipples, I mean, you've now lapped everyone. Take it easy. Don't push it. Don't get much slower, but you don't need to push it. You have won. Even if all the others re-lap you, you still have won.
Absolutely.
So
Callum Baker getting closer and closer up until these last few corners, and then he's dropped back a little bit. So it might be a little bit of the pressure getting to him of seeing the timer count down even more, and it might be just a little bit of getting tired. We've been racing for over 2 hours now, and with 20 minutes to go roughly, there's gonna be some drivers who are feeling a little fatigued, starting to get to them. Turn the force feedback down on the wheel a little bit,
yeah, if you do that, you'll lose the feeling that you've had the last 30 minutes. I would not do it.
Depends. I've done it a couple of times if my arms are getting tired, but I have notably weak arms. I'm not afraid of saying that. And so sometimes it's just beneficial for me. I'll just turn the force feedback down.
Bouter going off, and that could be a chance for Baker.
Ooh, yep. Bouter has definitely gone off. Baker is getting closer as a result. In this braking zone, he catches way up. He's got to continue capitalizing on that mistake, though. He can't make another mistake and just equal it out. But Baker's definitely closer.
And now if Baker takes, yeah, that's good braking. What we also should not forget, first, the drivers are getting more tired, and when you do an error like that, you start thinking and you start driving differently. And if you if you don't have nerves of steel, you start driving slowly or more careful, or on the other hand, you try to retake the time and are more uncareful, and therefore losing time on the corners. So doing an error like that tends to change the way you drive, and if you're unlucky, for the worse.
Absolutely. The other issue that can arise is you can really stress your tires that way. If you lock your tires going in, you can flat spot them, and then you have that thump, 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 right? And then if you lock the tires again, it'll lock
Ooh,
into
yeah.
that spot and just keep on rubbing that spot down.
And Baker already gained more than a second through the error of Bouter, and is driving better lines than Bouter, clearly.
Absolutely. Baker doing a 2-minute 1.347 on his last lap, and Boucher doing a 2-minute 3.090. So Baker has him by 2 seconds per that last lap when he made the mistake. Callum Baker's best lap, which we can evaluate as sort of the potential, right, was 2 minutes 0.570, while Michael Boucher was 2-minute 1.002. So Baker has been capable of more, or at least their cars have been capable of more than Boucher's has. Baker getting a little bit closer on this braking zone
Yeah,
here as well.
he's gained already a tenth of a second. Now
Mhm.
let's see if we can keep it cool. Okay,
Absolutely.
the
There's
distance
13 minutes left in this race.
is steady.
Absolutely. That was some late braking going into this corner.
Yeah, but that's a corner you have to be careful with the braking, because then you have it's a chicane and Luffield.
Oh,
Oh,
Baker goes into the pits.
what?
Baker's in the pits.
There is no need for him to go into the pits. At least,
As far as we're aware.
yeah, that's strange. And
That is very strange.
he was chasing Bouter, so
Mhm.
and no
And
penalty and nothing. So
no.
you know what it could be?
Driver.
Fuel.
Oh, fuel. Oh, yeah, that's quite possible.
Being
Uh,
13 minutes away from the end, they miscalculated the fuel and they have to refuel. That could very well be, which would be a pity.
that, yeah, it's already a pity because, he was sitting pretty in third place, pretty far ahead of Cham Cham in fourth place, who's on the back stretch right now. A reminder, the pit is on the home straight. Brian Cham Cham's on the big back straight.
And Cham Cham has already taken the place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Dowdy is in. So they did a driver change during this.
Ah, okay.
So maybe we were wrong. Maybe we had bad information and he hadn't done his.
Well, the information comes directly from the sim, so in theory not, but I don't know. Maybe
well,
they
perhaps that driver change wasn't the last one they needed to make, is what I'm saying.
yeah, feel that. Next time I need to have a way to follow that up. Whatchamacallit, with pen and paper. What a pity, because they were really near. But of course, whatever happened there, either they had to do the driver change, or they had issues with the fuel. It's now lost. They were on podium and fighting for second.
Indeed. The Bexley Racing Team car and the Speed 12 Racing Team car are battling for 4th place.
No, okay, so I was right. I was on the right ones, King and Mortimer.
You are. Scott Mortimer is challenging Ross King for 4th place here. See Mortimer just right on the edge of the mechanical grip these tires can offer, trying to get to King. King's looking a lot more calm in his driving style. I don't think he's very influenced by Mortimer breathing down his neck.
Yeah, on the other hand, Mortimer is eating the tenths of a second like there's no tomorrow, so...
For sure. Mortimer also on pace. His last lap was a 2-minute 1.650. Ross King's a 2-minute 3.333. And so it looks like Scott Mortimer has the pace to get ahead of Ross King in these final 10 minutes that we have remaining. The question is, will he be able to do it? This is not for podium, but this is for 4th place, which is better than 5th place.
And King has lost around a second in these last laps, so... At least in relation to Mortimer.
Indeed.
But still, Mortimer is near, but you know, the first step is to get near to your opponent. The second and more difficult is to be able to take the place of your opponent.
Indeed. Puddle Smashers is still out in the lead, a lap ahead of 2nd place. Being piloted right now by Nick Nibbles. Michael Buter is in 2nd place for the number 9 car of Drexton Reapers. Both in McLaren 720S GT3s. That seems to have been the way to go for this race. In the Bentley, also a British car, Brian Chamcham of the number 10 Jolly Holly Racing team. And they've had quite the ups and downs, because I remember seeing them as far back as I believe 9th place, and they're back up on the podium on 3rd place. We have Ross King in 4th place in the number 2 McLaren 720S GT3. And then, of course, chasing him, as we're seeing, Scott Mortimer rounding out the top 5.
So Mortimer trying to put pressure on King, but as you said, King is quite relaxed. Maybe the beer, and and it's
box, beer.
And it's not making it easy. He's taking the inside line, which is the better line here.
Looks
and
like
let's go to Helicam. Nope, Mortimer is not able to.
No, he does get alongside. Just lets him know, hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
I want your position.
It looks very much as if King says, yeah, well, whatever.
Absolutely. We are, like, I'm on the chase cam for Mortimer, and I'm able to follow the bounces up and down and the slight squeals of the tires, and I'm seeing that Mortimer's really pushing. He's really taking the car to the limits, and it looks like there's a long side.
Let's see. Yes,
Mortimer makes it with 6 minutes 50 seconds left to go in the race. Mortimer takes the position from King for 4th place. And looks like Mortimer has the pace. Ross King was a second behind Mortimer last time around, very nearly. And so it looks like Mortimer's probably going to hang on to that. King's going to make his very best effort. But it looks like Mortimer pushing as hard as he has been has paid off for him to take him, or to give him 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, Very, very good defending by King, but of course, if the other one is normally 2 seconds faster than you per lap, you're gonna lose at some point.
Absolutely.
If it's the last 2 laps, you may be able to defend long enough to keep the position, but being as it was that it started around the 9th minute before the end, was quite clear that it was not gonna stick.
There they go, passing Tom Hands. Tom and Co Racing has just not had a good day today.
Nope.
But King and Mortimer both pass. He lets them by cleanly and safely. Thank you very much. But Scott Mortimer, P4. It's looking like.
And King is already 1 second away from Mortimer, so it's quite clear. And by the way, in case you're wondering on the stream, no, there is no DRS on GT3.
Nope.
There was in DTM, and I would have to take a look at the changes in the DTM now that they're going GT, but as far as I know, they are going to have DRS. I think they're gonna be the only GTs with DRS, if they do.
I believe so. Yeah, if they go that route. Well, we've got less than 5 minutes to go. Your top 5 is Nipples, Booter, Cham Cham, Mortimer, and King. This has been a great race. We've had a lot of really good battles. We had the British 4-way battle here earlier.
We've had the battle against the server.
We did have a battle against the server. Yeah, we've had man versus machine, all the things that you write about in your English literature class. Man versus nature if you've been going off into the grass.
Or you've drunk too much beer.
Or you've drunk too much beer, yeah, there you go. Where does man versus beer fall in? Man versus self, there we go. Jack Taylor, it would seem, and his team fairly disappointed by their driver change. They were running nicely in 4th position and dropped way down into 8th, and they just have not been able to recover since then.
Understandably so. We'll have to check what happened there. Might very well be a bug.
Indeed.
That will be cleared up after the race.
Yeah.
Oh,
for what it's worth,
Cham Cham is going into pits.
Oh, Cham Cham is going into the pits. I'm going to guess that that's fuel. I'm going to guess that is fuel. That gives Scott Mortimer a chance. They are on the same lap. Cham Cham having just crossed the line going into the pits. Scott Mortimer and also Ross King, who's gotten closer to Scott, they both have a chance to overtake. Scott Mortimer may see a podium as a result of this. We're into the last 2 minutes. Cham Cham's on his outlap, but it looks like Scott Mortimer is probably... Actually, I don't know. I think Cham Cham just went for a splash and dash for a little bit of extra fuel. And Mortimer, like, Cham Cham's out. He's out.
Oh,
he's into... he's back on track.
That's strange, because you have a minimum pit time of 30 or 40 seconds. And I don't think that Cham Cham served that.
I have no idea what happened, because he did come in to the pits. We'll have to ask him after the race.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we're unsure of what happened there. But yeah, it looks like your positions will stand for now as we go into the final 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ed Bailey is in. Ed Bailey is in 7th position. Alex Ald also has spun on his in lap. Yeah, Ed Bailey is in 7th position going into the pits.
That has to be. That has to be a fuel.
Fuel. I think it's fuel for both Bailey and Cham Cham. Because for that, like stopping for that little, tires take longer than that, driver changes take longer than that. That has to just be fuel. We are on the final lap. We have gotten the direction from race control that this will be the final lap. Nick Nipples is still a lap ahead of second place, comfortably. Should he make this final lap, no reason to believe he won't. He's driving nice and cautiously. But looks like he is going to be our apparent winner of the race. Him and Puddle Smashers.
I'd be surprised if not.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Butcher is going to be taking second place. Seems they're all going quite slow. Perhaps.
Well, they're taking. Oh, they may be taking care of fuel.
Yeah, thinking fuel saving to the end. Yep, we are at 0 on the clock. This is your final lap. As soon as Nipples crosses the line, this is it.
Yeah, but it's still a way to go.
There is still a way to go. I'm seeing the number 2 car. Number 2 car and the number 3 car. Mortimer and King. Wait! King has passed Mortimer. King has passed Mortimer on the final lap for 4th place.
I see also in the chat that Scott Mortimer has almost no fuel left, so he's got to be very careful, and therefore he will have to let also Dowdy pass, I fear.
Yeah, Dowdy's gonna.
And Nipples and no, Nipples is gonna win the race. Exactly. Second, Bowter.
Yep, Nipples crosses the line. Bowder in second.
Cham Cham, if he refueled, has no issue and can go on the throttle, and therefore I expect him to be the third, but it's still a small way to go.
Indeed. Ross King currently sitting in 4th place as they come around to the final few corners. This is the last big straight before the home stretch that they're coming out onto. We can take a look at them.
And my lovely boat is gonna make 3rd place.
Absolutely.
Bentley.
Dowdy has passed Scott Mortimer. Mortimer is stopped. Mortimer is out of fuel. It's just coasting along. That's got to be under 20 miles an hour.
Bother.
It's looking like Mortimer is going to be a DNF. He is stopped on the final stretch before the home straight.
Whoa, King got 4th, but he's got for some reason a penalty of 130 seconds.
Oh wow, he has
more than 2 minutes. What for?
Whoa. I have no idea. We'll have to see.
Dowdy 5th.
Dowdy
and
5th.
Mortimer. Mortimer's not gonna make it.
Mortimer. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
He's got a DNF.
That is so unfortunate.
Like in the last lap it's not anymore the seconds that count and you're out. Bowder's now gonna help.
Yep, Bowder says he's coming in to push. Bowder's on his in lap. He's gonna push him. This is a very Cars 1 finish here as he gives him a bit of a bump draft to the end. Oh my goodness. Ed Bailey also out of fuel, stopped on the track. It looks like.
Ed already passed. Okay.
Yeah. Line.
All right. So this is the end of the race.
Yep. Looks like
yes.
Looks like our fellow who did not make it to the end is going to be a DNF.
Yeah, pity.
The race has been called. Scott Mortimer, I mean.
Yeah.
Wow. What a race. Well, thank you guys very, very much for showing up, racing, watching, having fun, sticking with us through the extended red flag that we had. Very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cody, for your commentating, especially when I was trying to fight the machine and kinda won. At least I got my mouse back. Thank you, everyone on the stream. And yeah, remember to like and subscribe if you like and if you want. And if you want to decompress every Thursday, it's Rec Day. We go for a little bit of Wreckfest and a little bit of mayhem. Anyway, this has been Acerta and Cody.
This has been Cody Swanson.
And we are Rum Rum. And as always, save fuel. That especially in this race, we saw how important it is. Save fuel, collect rubber, and we'll see each other on the podium. Thank you very much. And